off with Cove.
Yeah,
Everything is okay. Now everyone has references. Okay, so Cove and the game. We left off, I don't remember. We had some fun with Cove doing summer homework, I'm pretty sure. And then, yeah, so we were eating watermelons, and then we danced in the rain, and then we... Thank you for the 1 biddy, Junior. I love the dog emote. Yeah, so then... And then we hung out with Cove's mom, who Buggy says looks like Shrek, which was a grand old time. And then I'm trying to think if we... I think that was it. We only did 2 or 3 last time. So we should... I think we just have this, and then we have the end of summer for summer 2, and we'll be going into summer 3 when we're adults, which is fun. We won't be teenagers anymore. You are persistent, son. I don't know why you want to be on my lap so bad when you keep biting me. Okay, let's go. Soiree time. Hi, Kit! Thank you for lurking and working. I love you, my friend. Thanks for being here. Some other stuff happened as well, I think. Yeah, but Zazzy, that was your favorite. So, I don't know. Alright. You'd whiled away in the morning, doing whatever struck your fancy, and now you were recharging with lunch. Ooh, me too. With nothing on the horizon, you were free to spend as much time or as little time on your plate as you wanted. It was a while you were thinking all of the possibilities for your afternoon that your moms approached you.
Hi.
Hi, Devin. Are you okay? Mouthful, you nodded in reply. To your surprise, they both sat with you at the table. Based on the time, you had wondered if they were joining you for a meal, but neither of them brought anything.
All right.
Great. We wanted to have a little chat with you. Okay, great. We want to have a little chat with you. The qualifier little did nothing to downplay the situation. Your chewing slowed as your eyes widened, looking from one parent to the other. Anything that required both of them to talk to you must be something big. Bye! It was unsettling. That's how I feel anytime my parents would be like, let's talk. You didn't like being the only one not knowing what was going on. Stomach churning, you waited for them to fill you in.
There.
Don't look so worried. It's nothing scary. Promise. There's a soiree at the Cypress tomorrow night. Your ma and I are going. The Cypress was the country club your mom's... Wow, we're part of a country club? What in the rich person? And where Elizabeth played golf. It seemed like there every other month they had some event or another, with the fancy names like soiree. Chewing your lip, you wondered what this had to do with you. Oopsie doopsie, I hit the wrong button. Mom chuckled at your poorly concealed... Oh! What's happening? Oh, thank you for hosting, Buggy. I love you. I love you. Thanks for the host, my friend. Mom chuckled at your poorly concealed reaction, leaning in, and Ma took your hand and squeezed it. We've decided to make the night a bit special. I love you. Oops, sorry. Why? Elizabeth's going to be allowed to stay home fully alone for the first time.
Sorry.
You'll still be coming to the party with us. It's Elizabeth's night to party with no family around. Not yours. Sorry. You've got to wait a couple more years. What's the soiree going to be like? Interrupted your reading. Oh, don't worry about it. I don't mind being interrupted. The usual. Well, mostly. We wanted to make it a special night for you, too, so we've got something a little extra planned. I don't like that look, Mom! That's pretty devious. That was unexpected. Interested, you listened. Your parents shared a look across the table. You cleared your throat, reminding them that you were waiting. They couldn't keep dropping such hints and then turned coy when the conversation was about to get good.
Well?
Since it's a fancy party, that's still chaperoned. And attendees allowed to bring a guest. We thought it might be a nice opportunity for you to invite someone as a date, if you want. A date! Ugh! Can we ask Cove out on a date? Wait. Do we ask Cove out on a date? Your eyes widened as the word sunk in. Your mom's accustomed to your quietness continued. Even though you'll be at the party too, you don't need to worry about us getting in your way. You'll be free to eat, dance, and enjoy the music as you see fit. But no leaving the property. Ma nodded at Mom's interjection.
Isn't that great?
Yes, as long as you don't leave the party and you'd rather bring just a friend, that's A-okay too. Oh, thank you. So, stop AAP. I don't know if people, hopefully you all are aware of this, but they're trigger warning. There has been attacks in the U.S. That were targeting Asian Americans, and there has been a spike in this since the beginning of COVID, and it is horrible. So I wanted to provide some resources that people can use if they want to either be an ally and support their Asian American friends, or are Asian Americans and are looking for resources. Okay, parties. Yes, as long as you don't leave the party, and if you'd rather bring just a friend, that's A-okay too. Okay, so we can ask Cove on a date, or we can bring him as a friend. What do we do? I'm gonna say I didn't know how to react. Your parents were smiling at you, clearly expecting a response, but you were still too shocked to formulate anything of the kind. You hadn't imagined this is where the talk was going.
Don't worry about it.
The soiree isn't until tomorrow, so you've got time. Just let us know your plans before we're heading out. And that's all. We'll leave you to your lunch now. Your moms rose from their chairs in unison, disappearing to another part of the house. You barely noticed their departure. All you could think of was what just happened. The remnants of your lunch stared up at you from your plate. Let's finish eating. Food is important. The conversation had taken your mind off the meal, but you opted to try to eat a little more. You stopped at the plate for a little while longer. Even though you'd relocated to your bedroom, your head was stuck on the conversation that had unfolded at the dining table downstairs. You knew that having someone come as a friend would be best. You wanted it to be a date. You didn't want to bring anyone. It was too soon to pick one way or another. What do we want to do? Do we ask Cove on a date? Or do we bring him as a friend? Or do we not bring him? I think we should bring him. We should definitely bring him. I'm taking that one off the table. So is it a date or is it a friendship? Our character is nervous. We have like a nervous crush on Cove right now. So, option 2, he already called you cute. Oh my god, I forgot about that, Sassy! Oh, that's what happened last episode that I forgot about. How could I forget about that? We had this long conversation with Cove about our sexuality and like our gender and like relationship stuff that we're into. That was amazing. That was such a good conversation. And while this was going on, Cove was playing Hangman with us, and he wrote out "you're cute." That was how could I forget that happened? Zazzy is the information king. Zazzy is indeed powerful. I guess we could do a date. I feel like we'd be like super shrimp hours. Me shrimping over Cove. Okay. We're gonna ask Cove on a date. Going once, going twice, date, okay. You wanted it to be a date. I feel like Cove is gonna say no though. I think we're gonna get rejected. The prospect of having your first date made it impossible to sit still. You couldn't help but jiggle your fruit as you laid on your bed, contemplating the possibility. That night being a date would mean actually asking someone out. The little you knew of that came from what you'd seen on TV and movies, and what you'd heard about from the kids at school. Information came with a side of clips whilst leaving my mind in the gutter. Yeah, but we love you, Zazzy. It's fine. Cause you two kid always love you, so you name cat. We love Kit. Your moms hadn't even entered the idea of you dating until now. You went over possible words and phrases in your head, getting up scenarios and smooth segues. Oh my god, I can't read. I just read that as like the bike, segways. like, you know, like the ones that like... Anyways, before tearing them down and trying something else. You realize that you've been mentally scripting Cove as the one you were asking. It had been his name repeating inside your mind, his face lighting up as you invited him to join you. You buried your face in your pillow, not wanting to continue after noticing. You laughed awkwardly at yourself, smiling, close your eyes at the dating crystallizing in your head. I feel like we'd be embarrassed. We've been playing this character pretty embarrassed. Your cheeks felt like they were burning, so naturally you tried to smother them with a soft pillow. There was no one to see your embarrassment, but you felt it keenly all the same. You'd known Cove for years at this point. He was someone who existed in your small part of the world, and it was okay. Why did your thoughts about him have to start getting out of control like that now? Honestly, I remember my first crush, and like, this is exactly how I felt, so I feel like this is very accurate. Sighing, you shifted positions on the bed, resting your arms on the windowsill. A flock of birds caught your eye and led your gaze as they crossed the sky. You watched the birds grow smaller and less distinct until they disappeared from sight. Like the snap of a hypnotist's fingers, you were released from the trance and left with a goal of your own. You were going to go take a walk. You ambled through the familiar streets of your neighborhood, picking your path at whim. We're gonna run into Cove, aren't we? Oh my god. It was as quiet as ever, with tourists choosing to congregate in the shopping area near the beach rather than venture into the sleepy residential zones. You continued down the road and soon found yourself at the shore. The fresh, salty air hit you first, rolling to meet you over the grassy dunes that tickled your legs, followed by the familiar view of the sea stretching out across the horizon. You came to a halt. A lone figure was standing in the ocean, the water reaching up to his knees. Though he is back, oh god, with his back to you, you recognize the familiar silhouette as Cove's. It made sense that you'd find him here. He always was in his element by the sea. You had no idea if he heard your arrival or if it was a coincidence, but he looked over his shoulder. Your eyes met. Send help. Alright, you smiled, you waved, you called out, you nervously headed closer, you confidently headed closer. I feel like we nervously head closer. If we're about to ask him on a date, we're definitely pretty nervous. You kept trying to trip you up in your eagerness to reach Cove, but your feet tried. Oh my god. What is confidence? Don't know her. I'm with you, Zazzy. At least in romance. Your feet kept trying to trip you up in your eagerness to reach Cove, but you managed to keep them from falling over and making a fool of yourself. Cove smiled at you, bathed in the soft light of the afternoon sun, with his hair gently tousled by the sea breeze. He looked especially charming. He then fully turned around and began to wade through the water over to the shore. You wanted him to get to you already. You could hardly wait to talk about this. You hoped he took his time to come over. You were nervous about this. You relaxed after running into him. You were alright with this. We're going with confidence is imaginary, Zazzy. Instead of standing at the shore, you felt like you were on the edge of a cliff. The question of whether to invite him, and if so, in what fashion, was in front of you. Between leaping into a world unknown or enjoying the safety of the familiar.
Devin.
Oh, Cove! Don't say my name like that! Hey Devin. Wait, what was Cove's voice? Hey Devin, are you free right now? Not exactly. My moms are taking me to a soiree tomorrow at the country club. You winced at your abrupt transition to the topic and hoped that Cove wouldn't mind. He'd been known to dive into the new and unconnected topics in the middle of a conversation, after all. A soiree? Huh, sounds exciting. Oh god, why is this hurting me? I'm too connected to this game. I feel like I'm asking Cove out right now. And it hurts. You were smiling politely, but you could tell that your outing mention hadn't sparked much interest. Oh no! He doesn't even want to. Your heart, which had lodged itself was somewhere in your throat when you spotted him, dropped. You stared at him, weighing your options. Cove tilted his head curiously as you fumbled with what to say next. Who better to invite on your first real date than Cove, the only person who would make you giddy with just a smile, but you were afraid he'd think it was boring, or worse, wouldn't want to go with you as a date. You resolved to make it a date. You asked him to join as a friend only. You decided not to ask him at all. You didn't want to force him to come. You decided not to ask him at all. You didn't feel like having a guest. What do we do? I feel like I would, if he reacted like that, backtrack real fast in real life and just be like, come as a friend. And then if he says no, it's not as crushing, right? But if we ask him on a date, maybe he'll say yes. I feel like he's gonna say no. Why do I feel like Cove is about to reject us? Help. Hi, Jackie! Date? No rejection. We love Cove, but does Cove love us, Jackie? Option 1. Okay, that's 2 for option 1. So we're asking him on a date. As I said, he called you cute. Yes, okay. Alright. We're amazing. We are cool. And Cove does seem to like us. So, alright. You resolved to make it a date. Closing your clammy fists, you swallowed and tried to conjure up the right words. Cove continued to watch you expectantly. It might have been easier to do this right now if he was wearing something other than just a swimsuit. Devin? Cove, I want you to be my date for the party. Do you want to go on a date with me? Oh, wait, I have to read that properly. Hold on. Do you want to go on a date with me? Me. That'd be me. My parents said it would be alright if I brought a date, and would you go to the party with me as a practice date? No, we can't make it a practice date. Redeemed. Okie dokie then. 666 hey hug. Thank you for redeeming 66666 hail that last option. Honestly, as a teenager, I probably would have backtracked real fast. That is exactly why I made that one. It made me giggle. Okay, so should we just go with the first one? Cove, I want you to be my date for the party. Or should we do with the stutter one? I feel like the stutter one really speaks to me as a human. But are we faking confidence now? Are we faking it till we make it? Or the third, and he might pick up. Do you really think Cove is gonna pick up on us asking him out on a date? I'm not sure he will, but we can go for it. My parents said it would be alright if I brought a date, and... But he might think it as a friend. He might think all of these are a friend. Last one? Practice date! You want to do the practice date, Buggy? Wait, should I do a poll? Hold on, I'll do a poll. We can vote. No. No poll. No poll. Okay, no poll. Thank you for hosting the stream, Ugg. I appreciate you. Not the last one. Okay, I'm making a poll. Okay. And it's gonna be, how are we asking Cove out? Confidence. I'm gonna spell all of these wrongs. No one judge me, okay? I can't spell. Stutter. Parents. I just spelled out parentes. I just want you to know that. That was not on purpose. Or practice date. Okay, and you're gonna have a minute to do this. And go! Poll started. Okay, I'm gonna go watch Dawson now. Bye-bye. Thanks for hosting, and thank you for stopping by, Ugg. I appreciate you. It sounds like the worst sort of friend zone. Honestly, less suspicious. No debug. Yes, do poll. Okay, cool. What do I know about flirting, dating? Buggy, same. You know nothing, but we can pretend to know what we're doing because game. True, we can pretend. What would Bug do? Ruin her chances. I wouldn't even ask, to be honest with you. I wouldn't even have asked on a date. I would probably, like, if this was me, whoa! Thank you for the raid, V Team Ben Live. Hello, how are you doing? Welcome. We're currently doing a poll to find out how we should ask, Cove out. Have you played Our Life before? If not, I can do a quick recap for you and all the raiders. Welcome, raiders. I am Birdie, aka Jules. I'm LGBTQIA+, streamer who is neurodivergent and has a lot of chaos and fun. And yeah, welcome. Irish shrimp inside. All right, so we're doing confidence. Confidence 1. Alrighty. Yeah, I played it before. Okay, cool. So we're doing the soiree right now. So we're going to the dance. And now we're figuring out if Cove is coming with us. And I guess we're doing it with confidence. Oh, freak. Yeah, I think I also did it, but you can also just do the other shout out bugs because that one still works. I don't know why it's being crunchy as heck. The clip one should come up eventually on my screen, so we'll see when that happens. Hi, Noon! 34 to 33. What does that mean? Okay, with confidence. Cove, I want you to be my date for the party. You spoke your thoughts clearly. Caught off guard, he lifted his hands to the front of his chest out of surprise. Then he packed them down in front of his chest. What does that mean, like this? How are you all doing today, Raiders? How was your game? What were you playing? Ben. Sorry, I should have asked that first. My brain be crunchy right now. How is everyone doing? He twisted his face to the side, no longer able to meet your eyes. He still couldn't hide the flush on his cheeks. Is he gonna reject it?
Oh my god.
Are you serious? I'm alive. I'm good. I'm good. Oh my god, that's good news. Good to hear that you're alive. It's hard. It's a hard time out there. So, you know, if that's all you can be doing is surviving right now, yo, I feel you. Being alive is good. You nodded, knitting your fingers together anxiously. I was playing a game about oh my god, I can't read. Renovating train stations. Ooh, that's cool. I haven't heard about that kind of game. Was it fun? Did you have a good time renovating trains? Yeah, I don't know. It can be rough. I wish I had something to say that would make it better, but I'm glad you're here. Thank you for being with us, and I hope I can provide some distraction. His lips were pressed tightly together, preventing any more words from slipping out. You could tell that he was nervous, but that was always easy to pick up on with him. After another moment, he inclined his head, dipping it in a knot so slight that you might have missed it had you been able to tear your eyes from him. Did he say yes? Did he just say yes? Did he say yes? Wait, he said yes? What do we say? I don't know how to flirt. It was interesting to say the least. Fun, but maybe not going to spend an hour doing it again. Oh, that's totally valid. Sometimes I start games and I'm like, this is fun, but I maybe don't want to do this in the future. I just came to say hi and see how you are. Oh, thanks, Noon. I appreciate that. I'm good. I'm having fun with Cove. I love this game. It makes me very happy because it's like a nice, relaxing, sweet bean time. And I appreciate you coming to say hi. Super appreciate you. I feel like we would just say really or the exhale. Yeah, no, I agree, Jackie. Really? Let's do really. Really? Cove closed his eyes, trapped in his awkward pose. He was gripping his arm so tightly that the skin around his knuckles was fully taut. Cove's lingering tension made it impossible for you to relax completely. Cove exhaled at last, letting out a sigh that stretched into another tense silence. His stance loosened, his arms stayed crossed over his chest, but he was no longer clutching them like a shield. You didn't want to be the one to break the quiet. Thanks, Devin. I guess I'm gonna have to tell my dad and mom too. Right. I've gotta let my moms know you're going. Can you come with me? Yeah. It was a relief that he thought enough to manage speech again. You hoped that by the time you got to your house, he'd be able to manage full sentences once more. Cove went to where he discarded his things in the sand, tugging his shirt over his head and slipping on a pair of shoes before joining you in setting off home. I feel like he said yes, but I'm not sure if he really said yes, you know what I mean? The two of you stepped inside the front door of your house. It was an action you'd taken together countless times, but your stomach had never churned quite like this on previous occasions. At the second of the door opened, sound of the door opening, your mom poked her head into the hallway. What are full sentences? True. Cove, it's you. What a surprise. She chuckled at her own joke. Cove was always there, and she knew how close the two of you were. Bringing another one of anyone other than him back would have been an actual surprise. Hi, Mrs. Birdie. It's nice to see you. So, I take it Cove's going to be your guest for tomorrow? You nodded your head vigorously, beaming at your mom.
Well...
And what kind of outing will it be? Mom! He totally did. It would have reacted the same way. That's fair. That's really fair. Cove is very shy, to be honest. We're both very shy and awkward. Wait, does this mean we're dating now? Or is it just a date? How does this work in game world? I think it's just a date, right? A sentence, oh no, Zazie. Her voice was hesitant but serious. Cove ducked his head down reflexively. You knew that he'd figure out what she was driving at. It's a date. You know what it is. What does it look like? You couldn't bring yourself to speak. Mom, why did you have to ask in front of Cove? You made this 10 times more awkward than it needed to be. I'm just proving that sentences are hard. Sentences are hard. I'm gonna say we probably couldn't bring ourselves to speak. We were brave enough to ask Cove, but I think that's probably as far as the confidence is gonna go. Mom interrupted your mutual silence and nodded in understanding. She wore a wispy smile. Mom is gonna be thrilled about this. Cove tilted his head back up just slightly. He peeked through the longer strands of his hair. Just her, Mrs. Birdie? Even if you'd not been able to see his wide, worried eyes, you'd have heard the anxiety in his voice. Your mom sighed and patted him on the arm. Oh, Cove, you're a great kid. Most parents hope that their kid meets such a special person someday. This is painful. She glanced aside, a weary expression on her face. Someday is the real key word there. She turned back to you both. But you just had to move in right across the street at 8 years old. Mom crouched down, shaking her head, and put a hand on each of Cove's shoulders.
Okay.
Cove, I hope you're planning on being very good to Devin, and I'm not just talking about tomorrow night. Mom! Stop! Stop it, Mom! His little uddies are hanging around producing milk and stuff. Why do I talk ever? Why did I read that sentence, Bugs? Mom is being such a dad. Hello, I'm Father Birdie. Welcome to my mom, dad, and me. That made sense. That would have been taken OOC. Yeah. She nudged him playfully on the cheek with a fist. Cove, who had been blushing when all this began, was now as red as a Harlem tomato. Okay, yeah, I was, Will. You're making him uncomfortable. Stop embarrassing me. You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. Cove's definitely going to be good to me. Come on, Cove. What kind of answer was that? You're making him uncomfortable. You cross your arms over your chest and frown at your mom. Was she trying to scare Cove off before you even had a chance to go out with him? He didn't speak further. His eyes locked down on his shuffling feet as he rubbed the scar on his arm. The redness remained intact. Okay, I put Cove through the ringer. The big day isn't even here yet. You wondered if that meant she intended to give a repeat of this performance tomorrow. You were afraid to find out. I'll give your folks a call and get everything squared away. She headed off to get the phone, leaving the two of you alone. Cove's eyes darted to you, and he shot you a quick, delicate smile before staring at the ground again. I'm gonna go across the street, talk to my parents. Bye, Cove. You saw him off with a wave. What a duo we are. Oh my god. I was just read that as Duolingo. What a Duolingo we are. True, Bugs, true. He retreated from his home's entryway without another word. And the rest of the afternoon passed by just like that. Back in your room, your mind was alight with visions of tomorrow night. The soiree was something but not nearly as exciting as going on your first date. You were thrilled that Cove had actually said yes, that he was your genuine date to a party. You hugged your knees to your chest, overawed by the thought. The night couldn't come soon enough. The evening of the soiree had arrived. The daylight hours were slipping by away in a blur. Up in your bedroom, you were getting ready for the big event. That was your intention, at least, but you hadn't settled on an outfit. Stationed in front of your wardrobe, you scanned over the clothing you had at your disposal. Though Ma had mentioned this event was a bit dressier than a normal get-together, you didn't necessarily have to comply. Let's wear something formal. You attempted to decide between the nicer pieces in your wardrobe, the ones that rarely had a chance to come out. You decided to dress formally because you felt like you had to. You honestly like dressing up. You were dressing to impress. You ought to bring things you own to use. You wanted to make Ma happy. Oh, obviously we're dressing to impress Cove. Fashion was a competitive sport, just like the golf tournaments the club hosted. You might not walk with a trophy at the end, but you still had every intention of winning. That's not really what I meant, but okay. To start, you decided to wear a dress, a blouse, a button-down shirt. What do we want to wear, folks? Are we more femme-leaning or masc-leaning? We're non-gender binary, so really anything could work for us. How are we feeling? I think that we actually I don't know. I think we'd wear anything. Let's wear a button down. Mask. Okay. So a button down shirt. Crisp shirts were a classic formal look for a reason. They were essentially foolproof. You paired your top with that's fair. A skirt, dress pants. I'm gonna say if you want to do masks, we should do dress pants, right? You picked a pair that complemented the color of your top and nodded with satisfaction. It was a slick look. We look slick. We look like Keira Knightley on the red carpet in a suit. You began to get dressed with your fingers working stiff zips and awkward fastenings. It felt different against your skin, reminding you with every moment that you were dressing up. Whatever happened tonight, you were pleased that you'd gotten the opportunity to wear this. Now dressed, you gave yourself a final glance over before heading downstairs, ready to head out. You found your moms already waiting in the living room. They were putting the finishing touches on their outfits. Ma strapping her heel into a little stiletto shoe, and Mom trying to fasten a bracelet single-handed. Oh, they look so pretty! Ma is like beautiful. I shrimp for Ma. I forget that we're not allowed to say that. I don't know why though. They looked up as you entered.
Oh,
Devin, you look so nice, don't you think, Pam?
thanks.
Thanks for dressing up, Devin. I hope the party will prepare for your arrival. You look sharp. Mom was still struggling with the bracelet. You lent a hand literally by taking one side and holding it as she secured the clasp. Thanks, kiddo. Mom then glanced over at the clock on the wall. Seeing that where the hands were pointing, a frown creased her face. When's Cove going to be here? Do you know? He's getting here at 7? Mom pursed her lips as she stared at the hands ticking by on the clock. Alright, if he's not here at 5, I'll give his house a call. Elizabeth flittered down the stairs, her eyes narrowed. What? You're still here? Yes, but not for much longer, hopefully. Wait, I know you'd get excited, but we haven't even said goodbye, and I want to go over how things are going to play out. Elizabeth sighed as her mom began listening to the rules, ticking them off on her fingers. No ordering takeout or other deliveries. You can't have anyone else come over. She nodded, resigned to her fate, listening to a set of rules she could predict without so much as a glance at a crystal ball. If anything happens, you call us, or you go across the street to the Holdens. Keep the noise down. The neighbors might words. This house might be empty, but there are people all around the neighborhood. Usually house rules still apply. Don't do anything you wouldn't do if we were here.
All right.
And we'll be back no later than 11:30 p.m. But we'll call if there are any issues. So don't tie up the phone line all night. Right. All done? Can you go now? Ma strode over and swept Elizabeth up in a hug. Your sister let out a small noise, her eyes widening, and suddenly looked much less like the smug teenager she acted like. You're such a big girl now. I can't believe it. Elizabeth rolled her eyes. This wasn't the quick departure that she'd been hoping for. Any chance of it ending soon vanished as Mom joined in the hug. Neither can I. It feels like it was only yesterday that Elizabeth's grown trying to cut the reminiscing off without success. You laughed and stayed well clear of the love pile. You felt sorry for your sister. You were glad you weren't the one getting that treatment. You joined in the hug. Let's torture our sister. Mom and Ma held out their arms to you as you approached, welcoming you into the hug. Elizabeth whined, eager for this to come to an end already.
Jeez.
Can you all just go? Jeez. Your family disentangled from the hug in time to catch the doorbell ringing. Ooh, the guest of honor is here. Ah! She raced over to the door as Ma predicted. Cove had arrived and he was ushered inside.
Oh, nice.
You look very nice, Cove. You look so pretty. Cove, you're so handsome. Thanks. He looked around the room, searching for a way out of the conversation before his eyes met yours. Cove. I can't wait till he grows up. Imagine he's like so pretty now. Imagine what he's gonna be like as an adult. Let's just say. Also, his mom and dad are super pretty too, so. Oh my god, my cat is farting. Ugh, it smells. Casper, I'm gonna need you to not do that. Okay? Thank you. Cole pulled his face into a smile as you reproached the tension in his, as you reciprocated. I can read, I promise. The tension in his face faded away. You watched him taking in your outfit, swallowing and grinning at you again. Hi, Devin. You fluttered your hand in a clumsy wave.
It's nice.
You look really nice tonight. I'm glad we got to do this. Going to a place dressed up, I mean. Cove is so cute! His words took you by surprise. It wasn't often that Cove commented on your appearance, but you were happy to accept the compliment. You attempted to control the grin spreading across your face. The small statement made a big impact. You inspected his outfit in turn. I wish I could say the same to you. That's so mean. Who's being mean to Cove? What is that you're wearing? You look wonderful. You're looking good too. I feel like we probably just go with the basic one. He smiled bashfully. Thank you. Now that Mom had finished reiterating the rules to Elizabeth, who then scurried off to the sanctuary of her room, she came over to greet Cove. Hi, Cove. Nice to have you along for the ride. Thank you for letting me come.
You're welcome.
It's no trouble. You're always welcome. Mom's eyebrows rose in twin lines of concern. I would 100% pick the second one because I can be a sarcastic ass. Sassy! That's so mean! How do they might not know you're joking. What if you say that to someone and they're like, oh, wouldn't you feel bad? I would feel bad, but maybe that's just me. Let's all remember that for the foreseeable future, we'll be neighbors who have to see each other every day.
Yeah.
Yeah? Mom, what are you getting at? Cove looked helplessly at your mom. Luckily, Mom came over and rescued him. Mom's the cautious sort, sweetie. You don't need to look so worried. Mom smiled reassuringly. She didn't intend to scare him. Ma laid a hand on her shoulder. We should get to the car. There's nothing fashionable about being late. As you made your way to follow your mom's, Cove held out a hand. Pausing, you waited for an explanation. He wilted under the force of your attention, letting out a long sigh. Both my mom and dad insisted that, since this is, he paused, pushing the hair back from his burning face and forced himself to continue. It's a date and kind of a fancy party. I needed to bring something for you for inviting me. The conclusion of the story caught you by surprise. You blinked, unsure if you slacked too much on your own preparations for tonight. You got me a present?
That's,
Not really, just this. Cove reached behind himself to take something out of a small pocket. His hand returned to view with him holding a single small white poppy by the stem. Cove is so cute. Cove threw his gaze to the floor, shyly inching his hand closer to you. It's my favorite now. It's my favorite. Cove audibly sighed in relief. You got the impression he had been stressing over the flower he chose. I wasn't positive, though I thought it would be. You didn't need to do this, Cove. I'm sorry I didn't get you anything. Thank you, Cove. You left the conversation there. You're so wonderful. You're so wonderful, Cove. I know, Kim. My heart literally, like, ugh. This game. Thank you, Cove. He muttered a delicate reply. You're welcome. Oh my god, he's so cute. Right, Jackie? Right? What? Stream Elements, what the hell? Please think about supporting this amazing stream. They are playing Twitch. Please think about supporting Cove Holden. They're playing Twitch right now. I think the SO maybe should set it off. That's so weird. Why is my shadow command being so crunchy lately? Anywho, back to cuteness with Cove. Then you accepted the flower from him. Cove straightened himself out in response. Probably the SO setting it off. Yeah, but it didn't do it that time. What the frick is happening? So we're gonna be late if we keep standing here. Right. We better hurry. You pulled up to the country club. The sun had sunk deep into the horizon, the last of its light sleepily warming the oncoming night. Your moms led the way to the space around the back where the event was being held. Jackie's VIP. Ah, okay, I see. Why am I so sleepy? Ah, and Buggy set it off too. Wait, hold on, I'm gonna fix that. That's gonna bother me. I don't know why. Why you crunchy? Advanced settings. Exclamation point SO. Exclamation point shout out. Okay. Hopefully that fixes it. That's gonna bother me otherwise. You can never say so in my stream now. The new rule. Wait, what? I'm in Genshin and got distracted. Oh, so is just setting off the shadow command. I don't know why. And it's not shouting anyone out. So it's pretty funny. Just being stream elements. Pretty much. The place had been transformed through decoration with smart tablecloths and elegant ribbons contributing to a festive atmosphere. Musicians dressed in matching black and white were setting up their instruments and flicking through pages of sheet music. And as promised, there was a table covered in plates of carefully prepared food. Destination reached, your parents rounded on you in Cove. Things haven't kicked off yet, but don't let that stop you from enjoying yourselves.
Have fun.
Have fun. We'll be around if you need us.
See you later.
See you. Bye. Cove waved your moms off. Once they'd retreated a distance away, you found him watching you expectantly. What now? It wasn't a question, but a plea for help. You could tell that he definitely didn't know what to do with himself in this situation. Well, we'll have to wait for some things to start, like the bland, with there's stuff going on already. Cove perked up at that.
Really?
Oh, do you want to do any of those? Whatever they are? You check the snacks. Snacks always first. I'm not demon. I'm just playing games. Yeah, but everyone should check you out anyways because you're amazing, Jackie. We can go eat some food now, even if the music hasn't started yet.
Oh?
That's okay. It's not too soon. Instead of doing homework mood, Jackie mood. Yeah, I only like this party because of the free food. I knew you'd come just for the free food. Yep, I wonder what they'll have this time. No one really will mind, really. You simply nodded. Yep, I wonder what they'll have this time. Let's go find out. Oh, sorry, Buggy. I was too fast. I'll be slower. This rest of this date, I'll be slow and let all of us make decisions on it, okay? Yep, still deserving of the shout out. Okay, so now shout out is setting it off. And everyone goes check out still? Who is that? I hate it here. Stop it, stream elements. I need you to stop being crunchy as heck and just giving points to Buggy and not actually. I hate it. Okie dokie. Hopefully that fixes it now. Okay, the two of you wandered over to the refreshments table. With it being early in the night, it had barely been touched, and the plates were nearly as pristine as when they left the kitchens. The offerings were all tiny and bite-sized, ready to be picked up and sampled. It was immediately apparent that there was plenty to choose from. Just from the level of care with which it was presented, it was clear that this was fancy stuff. Cove stared at one plate, then another, confused.
Maybe?
I think I know some of this. I don't. Gross. And only some of it is any good. This is the good stuff. They're playing no game. Even the full word, too. Let's see if me saying Horny Joe set us off. Shout out our weird lol. Oh, I just turned it off finally, so that's good. It's not doing that anymore. Horny jail steam elements. It's sending itself to jail. And only some of it's any good? I don't. I know that usually there's food, but not what it is. Cove smiled at your reaction, seemingly reassured that you were on the same level as him when it came to understanding high cuisine. Cove squared his shoulders as if gearing up for a match. His stance was familiar from all the times you've seen him preparing for some sporting event. I'm gonna try it. Yeah, Cove, you go. He picked up a plate and took one appetizer, then another, and another. Soon you realized he was taking one of every single type. You gestured at his mounting plate of food. Why? Why not? Ah! Hi, Jess! Thank you for subscribing! How are you, friend? Oh my goodness, hello! Love you! How's it going? How's your morning, brunch, lunchtime? How are you? Happy time zone! Thank you for the resub! Oh my goodness, I hope you enjoy your continued benefits as a sub with the emotes and ad-free viewing and whatever else happens with subs. It's good, I'm avoiding work. Oh, that's a mood. I understand that. I avoid work every day of my life. Yes, go check out Jess. Jess is an amazing streamer. Jess plays DBD and has taught me lots about DBD when I was first learning. And also Phasmo, and it's very hilarious. And also is amazing. So there we go. Oh, let's see if we have any clips. I want to see if you have clips, Jess. For some reason, this only works for me. Let's see if it actually pops up this time. I wouldn't say I'm an amazing streamer.
What?
Oh. Thanks, stay hydrated, bot.
So,
What's up?
Stay hydrated, but
you are, apparently.
What?
I'm what?
Did you just fade
What?
through a wall?
Yes, indeed.
What? I just
Here she
what?
comes. You ready?
You just glitched through a wall.
Oh my god. Okay, well, there's a glitch. We're gonna have to send that to the devs or something.
Wait, that's so funny, Jess. I love watching other people's clips. That's amazing. That's so funny. My goodness. And you can be an amazing streamer and not stream that often, Jess, so there. It just means you're fun to watch, and I have fun watching, so ha. Anywho, back to our date with Cove. Why not? Okay, let's do it. Let's join him. Maybe there'll be some hidden gems this time. It was worth a try. Cove nibbled his way through everything the Cypress had. The results of his endeavor were mixed. He was revolted by some of the things he tried, openly screwing up his face and rushing to find a drink to wash the taste away. Yet, these bad experiences didn't stop him from plowing on. Oh no. Moving on to the next snack with an open mind. There were some foods he was neutral about, dismissing them with a shrug, but best of all were his reactions when he stumbled across something good. Each time he caught him by surprise, his expression morphing from weary to curiosity to skeptical interest before making way for an astonished enjoyment. Regardless, I can't read today, this is a struggle. Regardless of how he felt about what he was currently eating, you could tell he was having a good time just being free to eat whatever he laid his eyes on. I need to ask how old the characters are before I make a joke. I knew it, Zazzy! I freaking knew it! They are children! They are children! They are children! They are 12 and or 13 years old right now, okay? They will be in our next section once we finish summer 2. They're going to be 18 plus, and so your jokes are welcome. But they are children right now, okay? I'm watching you, Zazzy. A reminder, everyone. Have you eaten yet? Have you had water? And have you taken any meds that you need to take? Make sure you keep hydrated. Noted. Good. Okay. You thought that was nice too. After going through a round of sampling, you continue munching on the refreshments while waiting for the music. You moved on to something else. I don't want to talk to people, but it's gonna, let's just relax. They're like grown-ass adults. They're children! They are children right now. We're 8 when we start this game. It's our life, so you're like growing up together, right? So you're 8 when you start, and then now I believe you are teens of some sort, but you are still technically children. We are teenagers, guys. Yeah, we are teenagers. We should pick a table. Okay. You found a place to sit at the edge of the party area where it was quieter with fewer people bustling around. You pulled out a chair and sat down. Cove, already seated, was stretching. Does Cove look like that when he's 8? Buggy, were you here for when Cove was 8? Because if not, go onto my YouTube. My YouTube has when we were kids on it. So go into the YouTube and you can literally just pull up a video of when he was 8. Also, Birdie, you laughed at plowing. I know! I laughed because my brain went, Zazzy's gonna make a joke out of this. And so I preemptively giggled at the joke I knew you were thinking, Zazzy. And then I just kept going because I wasn't going to make the joke, okay? Okay, we good? We on the same page, folks? These clothes are kind of uncomfortable. He flexed an arm at the elbow, frowning before twisting it back behind him. Yeah? My arms can't move the same as normal. Like I'm gonna drip if I do anything. Sure, it's my fault. It is, Zazzy. I spent too much time with you now. Hi, Darmo! I love you! Thanks, Kit. I don't mind it. Yeah, it's the worst. I think it suits you. Really? Okay, thanks. Cove is so cute. He toyed with one cuff of his shirt, wedging a finger between the fabric and his skin. Hello, all you glorious people. Hello, Darmo. How are you today? Oh god, I almost read that as Daddy Darmo. Ugh. Hi, Father Burb. Hi, I am Father Burb. Nice to see you again. Now that you had a spot of your own, you stayed chatting with Cove at the table. In no time at all, the sun set in full, the lights faded in, and the opening notes of band's first song rang out. No, Dad. Freudian ship. No, it was more just like our conversation yesterday in your stream, Darmo. You're not the only one to call Darmo Daddy. I'm not. I don't do that. Okay, I don't. Let the record show I don't do that. Dad is wholesome. Daddy is not. Yes, that's what we figured out yesterday, which is why I'm Father Burb and not Daddy Burb. I need to stop talking. Oop! What did I do? And the opening notes of the band's first song ran out. You and Cove stopped what you were doing, turning to contemplate the party that had been steadily unfurling while you were distracted. It was much busier now, both in terms of people and activity. The first steps were taken onto the dance floor, some tentative, others eager. And even if the band hadn't been playing, the constant level of chatter would have ensured that it wasn't a quiet night. So I got like 4 clips in the last 30 seconds. Oh god, no. With the party now in full swing, your options had increased. See, this is why I'm glad he left. He wasn't there during the little nightmare stream when we were in the kitchen buggy, because Zazzy would have had a field day clipping. I think because if I could. No, that's okay, Zazzy. No reason to. No reason. You watch the band. Let's dance. Should we dance with Cove? So you can ask Cove to dance. You watch the band perform. You went to see your moms were up to. Should we dance with Cove? Oh yeah, all the meat. Yeah, exactly. Should we ask Cove to dance? I think we should ask Cove to dance. Maybe? Yeah, wholesome dance. Side, go out to Little Nightmares. Wow, you're gonna have a field day. Oh god, no. Please don't. Alright, let's ask Cove to dance. Oh, how are we asking? So, would you like to dance, maybe? Hey, Cove, let's dance. Cove, can I have the pleasure of your company on the dance floor? Come on, it's time to dance. I'd like to dance with you, if that's okay. Which one? Quote 21, at least I don't murder the Sims. Oh no. How should we ask Cove? I kind of think the Cove, can I have the pleasure of the company of your dance is pretty funny. It's time to dance. Trying to find the ones from Little Nightmares. I think it's like 28. I don't want to be destroyed. Oh. When was that quoted? Okay. So would you like to dance, maybe? Really? He blurted the word out without thinking, then clamped a hand over his mouth before anything else could slip out. You nodded, hoping that he would accept. Cove sucked in a breath of oxygen as if trying to inhale confidence as well as oxygen into his lungs. He gave a single serious nod before holding a trembling hand out towards you. It's definitely not quote 4, Bugs. No! You found it. You felt nervous right along with him. Taking a steady breath, you reminded yourself that nothing here would hurt physically at any rate. This train of thought was leading you down tunnels of potential embarrassment, so you tried to keep your mind on the moment. You took Cove's outstretched hand. His skin was hot and damp, but yours was probably no better. You squeezed it, giving him an empathetic smile, and together you carefully made your way onto the dance floor. You took your places standing there, each other hands still entwined. Oh god. Buggy, stop torturing me! I'm not reading those out loud. Frowning, Cove assessed the situation, trying to puzzle it out like a math problem before putting his remaining free hand on your shoulder. You reposition his hand to your waist. Nope, we're fine with that. Let's do with what he's comfortable with. We're staying in our comfort zones. Cove is comfortable with his stance, and the arrangement was good for you two. Cove towered over you. You'd long been aware of your height differences, but readying yourselves to dance had brought them to the forefront once more. Cove awkwardly glanced down at you from the corner of his eyes, looking almost apologetic. The music had begun. You both moved eagerly, trying to catch up to it, but your feet took you in opposite directions. Oh no, this is so awkward! Rasov, I like to point out that Bug quoted those, not me. I know Bug did. At least Bug didn't clip them. You both did it. Yes, Dharma, self-love, not in that way. Oh god. Bonk. Bubbling, the two of you shuffled from side to side, attempting to mirror each other's movements, but always winding up at odds. It was difficult. Cove was struggling just coordinating his own limbs to the rhythm, let alone matching your movements. When Cove's foot ghosted over yours, it was decided it'd be safest for everyone if you simply swayed to the tune. You rooted yourself to the floor, your torso gently moving to the sounds. That's exactly how I used to dance with people in middle school. Gratefully, okie dokie then! 666. I love that you're enjoying that. That was meant to be like a funny throwaway of channel points if you have a ton. Gratefully, Cove kept his movements small and subtle in the same way. You were distinctly aware that almost all of the other dancing couples were men paired with women, unlike you and Cove. Oh. Oh, so we get to confront heteronormativity. It didn't bother you. It made you feel a little uneasy. I feel like it wouldn't bother us. Right? Maybe it would bother us though. I don't know. Heteronormativity bothers me. But like not in this context. Just in like everyday. You know? With our moms, I don't think so. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Jackie. Or maybe it would bother us because of our moms. Like we're like, where are all the moms dancing together? where are our lesbian pals? It doesn't bother you. This was a welcoming environment. Your two moms wouldn't be members otherwise. Not being the majority didn't mean there was any problem with it. Your confidence spilled over onto Cove. He tried to be less timid in his own demeanor. Though it didn't improve his dancing, it didn't make it worse, and you hoped that it meant he was having a better time. All was fine for a little while. You weren't going to win any dancing accolades with Cove, but that didn't matter when you were treasuring just being so close to him. Hello, I am lesbian. No, you're a lesbian. Buggy, laws. When love women for the win. Yes, we love this game just because of how inclusive it is. Just eat, Gerald. I'm still scarred by that. Let the record show I'm still upset about that. Cove stepped out of sync with the music, knocking against you. He flinched back, nearly pulling you over in the process. You took a hand from him and held it up, halting proceedings so you could both get your bearings once more. You should have stuck to the hokey pokey. It's okay. Dancing is harder than I thought. I'm setting you up for dance lessons. You quickly took a break. Do I have to eat my mom? Little Nightmares provided all of the quotes. We should have stuck to the hokey pokey. Instead of laughing, Cove looked off. Maybe we should have. No, Cove, it was a joke! It was a joke, Cove! I take it back! I'm sorry! Then you took Cove's hand once more and gingerly resumed swaying to the music. I'm so sorry. Cove reluctantly followed suit, his steps small and apprehensive. I destroyed his confidence! In one fellow swoop, I destroyed Cove's confidence. I didn't mean it. It was a joke. Melanie mumbled something quietly. This is a long song. You weren't sure how to take that. Whether it meant that something was wrong, or if Cove didn't really like dancing, or if he didn't like dancing with you specifically. And he made the last couple of minutes of the song uncomfortable as you weighed up what to do and what to say to Cove. When the musicians laid their instruments down, Cove dropped your hands as if they were burning him. He trailed off the dance floor as quickly as he could without breaking into an outright run. Good thing you didn't choose my suggestion of being a sarcastic ass. Yeah, apparently. Cove is very, sweet. He doesn't, like, always understand when you're joking. In truth, you'd bet even that was faster than most people here could manage. You had difficulty telling him before he could get lost in the crowd. When he caught up, he said nothing. You tried to get him into doing something else, but eliciting anything from him was now impossible. Yeah, Cove is a gentle soul. You focused on Cove, wondering how he was finding the evening. I was gonna say he's very sensitive, but I feel like sensitive is a... Like, people get... Like, he's not, like... Like, people take that with a negative connotation, which is not at all. He just, like, feels very deeply, is what I mean by that. And Cove has lots of feelings. And he feels deeply. I like gentle soul better, Jackie. That's a good way of doing it. You focused over Cove, wondering how he was finding the evening. He sighed. It was so quiet and unobtrusive that you wouldn't have caught it if you hadn't been watching him. His gaze was roaming. With how far away his eyes seemed, whatever he was searching for couldn't be found at this party. He turned to face you before you could say anything. I want to sit down. We can do that. Cove began to move and you instinctively followed him, yet, instead of taking a seat at one of the many free tables as you'd predicted, Cove ignored them as he purposely strode out of the party area. Cove? Your call didn't seem to register with him as he continued forward onto the greens of the golf course. You went after him, trying to watch out for uneven ground underfoot. The clods of earth dislodging in games of golf were perfect for snatching unwary feet even in daylight. Up ahead, Cove didn't appear to have had any difficulty traversing the uneven land. He settled down on one of the little hills of the golf course. You joined him, still unsure over what was going on. Are you alright? And why are we here? What's wrong? Why'd you drag us out here? Looking at us breaking the rules. You didn't say anything. Maybe he just like needs a second. Maybe we shouldn't say anything. Option 4, 2, 3, 4. No, Zazzy! Stop it! Cove doesn't react well to that stuff. We already hurt him by making a joke about the hokey pokey. We don't need to joke about breaking the rules. Cove is gonna feel bad. I reject you. No, we can do. You didn't say anything. What's wrong or all right? And why are we here? Those are the 3 that we actually have to choose from. Okay, sir? Either first or last? Oh. Rejection. No, that's not a command anymore, Bugs. I changed it to F. And that's for dying. Sorry. Should keep you updated on the command list. Me changing all the commands constantly. Last one? Let's do the last one, Jackie. I'm with you. Closing his eyes, Cove breathed a sigh of relief. When he opened them again, he smiled sheepishly at you.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. You can go back to the party. You didn't budge from your spot. From here, the party was just a glowing haze in the distance. You didn't want to leave him behind. You were glad to take a break. You were glad to take a break. You shook your head. The quiet of the empty golf green was a welcome balm after the bustle of the noise and activity back at the party. It's peaceful. Cove understood the meaning behind your words, nodded in recognition of your mutual feelings. Now that Cove was more at ease, you tried to find out what had caused him to take flight in the first place. You were thinking the words pained you, but you had to know the answer. Did going to the party with me make you uncomfortable? Logically, you knew that the issue was likely the activity rather than your company. Your heart strained with the worry that you had been at fault, though. Was it because I made you dance? His abrupt departure from that was another indicator that something had gone awry.
What?
No! He shook his head empathetically. It's not anything I did tonight. It's definitely not anything you did either. Relief overcame you. You'd suspected as much, but with this being your first date, it was hard to be sure. Cove attempted to fill in the gaps of understanding. I don't want to think about going back into the party. I just feel ready to go home. To your home planet? Don't try running that far. You kept quiet. I'm sorry you're not having fun anymore. Should I get my mom's? Barb, I'm really sleepy. I'm gonna take a small nap. Okay, Buggy, thank you for being here. Have a good nap. Oh my god, me? Which one's you? Which one? The home planet one? So go back to your home planet. I'm gonna say, should I get my mom's? Maybe? Yeah. Hug, Buggle. I am alien. I want to see what other people would choose playing this game too. I feel like it would be really fun. I don't want to ruin their night. Cove sat there quietly, gazing out into the shadowy hills and the valleys of the golf course. A comfortable warm wind rustled between you, tossing his hair. It was so far away from the hubbub of the party, you could even make out the quiet sound of crickets chirping. This is kind of like how we first met. Do you remember? Of course I do. Your impression of Cove during those early days hadn't been fond. It's so weird that was a long time ago now. That reminds me of the Friends episode when Chandler tells Phoebe to go back to her home planet. Friends is an interesting show. You thought back to the day when Cove first arrived in the neighborhood. He had run away from Mr. Holden, taking solace in the hills behind your house. That had been late, too. On a clear night like today, looking at the sky, you wondered if the stars that were looking down were the same ones as then. Cove's face was brighter, though you could still see signs of the strain that had caused him to depart from the soiree. When he first sat down, he had curled up like a pill bug. Like you, Buggy! Bye, friend! Bye, Bugs! Have a nice nap! Hunched over, knees pressed to his chest and arms wrapped around them. He unwound as you'd been talking, straightening up, his hands free to gesticulate? What does that mean? Take care of Barry for me. Aw, thanks, Buggy. Everyone here is wonderful. We love all our friends. It was as though the two of you had constructed your own little world away from everything else, and he was beginning to perk up. Corrupts the bird. Darmo! A small smile that had crept onto his face was quickly ushered away by a frown. I don't believe I'm on a date. I can't believe I can't believe I'm on a date is what he's saying. Oh, I can read. Oops! Wait, I went too far. Okay. Cove followed up on the statement. Before you could react, he spoke in a distinctly whispered tone as though you were the only one in the world who you could share these words with. After I said I wanted to come, I wanted to take it back. Not because I really didn't want to do it, but because... I don't know. It seemed like a big deal. It made me feel bad somehow. I started feeling like I couldn't do it, even though I just wanted to do it. I guess it was sort of like having to give a presentation in front of the class, even though it was just me and you doing something like we always do. He charged on, his words streaming out. I still could do it because thinking about it not being there and you and what you might think if I did take it back made me feel worse than whatever else I felt.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Devin. I'm so sorry I can't just deal with stuff like this and have to make everything so complicated. Cove! I knew asking Cove on a date would make him sad. Oh no! You don't need to apologize. You sadly hung your head. I'm sorry it made you feel bad. I don't want to be here if you don't want to be here. You smiled at him. You didn't have to come. You could have told me. I don't know. What do we do? I just want to give him a hug. If this was real life, I'd just hug him. I'd just be like, it's okay. You don't need to apologize? I don't want you to be here if you don't want to be here. That could come out harsh, though. I don't want to be harsh to him. I'm sorry it made you feel bad. Oh no, what do we say? Oh god, I just want to love him. Right, Jackie, same. I just want to give him a hug and be like, it's okay. But that's not an option. Okay, I'm gonna say you don't need to apologize. Yeah, that's the one I'm gonna go with. Yeah, let's do it. You then took his hand, you then placed a hand on his shoulder, you then leaned against him, you then ruffled his hair. You hoped he'd feel better. Let's lean against him, because that's like a hug. Faith would be closest to a hug. Oh, I can't go back. Sorry, Zazzy. Ruffles. Ooh! My cat just flew across the room. Alright. It always made you feel secure to lean against Cove, having him support you in the most literal of senses. Maybe he felt the same way. He finally moved his head to look you straight on, eyes meeting yours.
Devin.
Thanks for inviting me, Devin. You stared back at him, not comprehending. But didn't it make you feel bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did when I had to think about how I was actually doing it. But getting to hear that you wanted me to come made me feel good. He flushed and had to break the fragile eye contact made.
I
mean, I want to keep doing things with you, no matter what, even if I feel weird sometimes. Cove! I don't want to stop being there. I don't want you to stop wanting me there. Because when I do whatever it is for real and you're with me, it all feels better in the end. It always does. Cove stood up without warning. Support gone! You throw out an arm to catch yourself from toppling over. At that point, you didn't have much choice but to join him on your feet. Hey! Give me a warning next time. What's up? You tilted your head in an unspoken question. What was that? I feel like, hey, because we're leaning against him. Cove smiled awkwardly, brushing some grass off the side of his pants.
Wanna dance with me?
He wants to dance with us here? Your eyes widened involuntarily. You were not expecting that after what happened earlier. The reaction didn't escape notice. I'm so fucking Lulico. Why is he so precious? It's a dance party, right? And I think... He trailed off, brow furrowed, as if he was trying to figure out the answer himself. Nodding slowly, he continued. I think I want to dance with you again, before it's over. With the only words he had to explain gone, he just held up his hand to you, his expression soft. They're the same reaction as Birdie. I mean, it's my character, so okay. With the only words he had to oh wait, I already read that. You nodded quietly, then you reached for his hand and took it in yours. Ah! You returned hand in hand, with the party reaching the end of a long evening. Dancing couples had become scarce. One pair among many were hard to notice, but now the space around you would act as a spotlight. Not that there were many left to watch you. He was still at ease, even buoyed by the dissipated crowd. This time, there was a spring in his step as you walked onto the dance floor together. Cove kept hold of the hand you had given him back on the little hill. He rested the other hand on your shoulder. Oh, he's so precious! Cove hesitated while you were waited for a sign. With the song in progress before you stepped out to dance, there was no signal for the right moment to begin. The same thought occurred to Cove, who shrugged his shoulders with keeping form. Taking that as your starting point, you cautiously began to sway. Cove readily followed your example. You danced wordlessly, dimly aware of the music guiding you. You were more focused on Cove, whose attention was firmly fastened on you. Unlike before, when he had nervously looked down at his feet, as if trying to keep them in check, his eyes were steady. He didn't even allow himself to be shaken when your knees knocked against each other and you both briefly fumbled your steps. Instead, he chuckled, and it was as soft as the roll of morning tide. His lips curved into a shy crescent. You had been drifted into a dreamlike state, but that expression, one that you'd never seen before, pinned you back to reality. Your heart was caught in the I can't read held tight and yet straining with effort, thumping harder than it had after any moment of physical exertion. As if in response, his hand began to hold yours with increased strength. He pulled you ever so slightly more towards him. Wow, this is heating up, y'all. Thoughts about what it meant or what might happen when it was over eased, and the both of you were able to simply have this dance. Time fell away as you took in this small moment. All too soon, the song reached its conclusion. You could have continued quite contently for some time more. You stilled one hand on yours in his. Cove showed no sign of moving either. It was hard to let go. You heard your name called out, and that brought the dance truly to an end. You both spun to find Mom yelling for you and Cove. Beside her, Ma was shaking her head.
Sorry.
It's time to go. Lenny, I had to get hold of them somehow. What did you want me to do, sneak up on them? His chosen method was immediately better than that. You still winced at how dazed you'd been when she'd announced your arrival. Cove looked so embarrassed that you seriously worried about him fleeing again. This time, you didn't think he'd stop until he was out of the grounds. Despite Cove's reaction to the scene, your mom's to you it had been a perfect ending to the evening. You were so glad you got a chance to dance with Cove once more before the night was over. And it definitely was over now. You didn't need to say anything to Cove. The two of you marched wordlessly over to your parents, who were still bickering playfully. Standing shoulder to shoulder, your parents surveyed you and Cove. You wondered if they were checking that they were returning Mr. Holden's son in the same state that he'd left the house. So that was quite a night, huh, Gain? Wasn't it just? Cove managed a self-conscious smile. Yeah. Mom was smiling too, with an expression so soft it could have cradled a newborn chick. That's an interesting turn of phrase.
Well?
And how was your first date? Please don't start on them already. It technically hasn't even ended yet. Fine, fine. Good. Well, we'd better ready ourselves to go back to Elizabeth. If we're lucky, the house might still be standing.
Pam.
Oh, shush. She swatted your mom playfully, laughing at the comment. You cast one last look at the party. You saw people exchanging farewells and suppressing yawns. Most of the faces were happy ones, despite the wariness that was starting to creep in. Cove's head was angled away from you. As you watched, wondering what he was looking at, he came around and met your gaze. It was strange. Though it had only been a few hours of your life, you felt a little older as a result of attending the party. It was like a step away from the world of your childhood, where dressing up is reserved almost exclusively as a form of play, towards something new that hadn't yet grasped. Turning away from the final moments of the party, you shelved that thought for later, another time, as your moms eagerly led the way back to the car. As you and Cove trailed after them, you felt childlike once more. Ah, that was so cute! Cove, I love you! Alright. Time to end the summer. Let us save. And let us end our childhood. Next time we'll be adults. Do you think this is gonna change how the ending of the summer happens? Like, are Kovaras dating now? Like, I wonder how this plays out. Let's move to the next step. There's no denying it. Today was the very last day of summer. Tomorrow you are heading to class. Anxiety gnawed at your stomach. That's a mood. That's actually me. Going back to school meant handing over the autonomy you had over the past weeks. You had very little control over what you did at school or who you shared a class with. It was with a heavy heart that you chose your outfit for your final day of freedom. Life was going to be different. You had come to think of the summer vacation as the norm. The school was sucked up the majority of the year, whereas the summer vacation was just a respite in the middle. So rather than it being different, it was kind of a return to normal. What did your normal life really mean? You considered how fondly your moms talked about their summer vacations as kids. You dimly recognized that one year the pattern of school and summer itself would be over for good. It was hard to imagine. You'd gotten distracted, one arm still out of the sleeve. You pulled it through and put your mind back to the present. This season had brought about plenty of changes of its own. Like Kira's visit, though that too was coming to an end today. Shrek is going home! Oh no! You're happy you finally got the chance to know her. You had become extremely fond of her. You didn't really like her. Your mind wasn't made up on how you felt about her. You didn't kill one way or another. Oh my god, I love Cove's mom! You had become extremely fond of Cove's mother. The neighborhood was about to feel a lot emptier. You finished dressing, which was good. Cove would be there at any moment. You'd agreed to see his mom off together. Officially, the plan was that he would come over to bring you around to his house when she was ready to set off, but you both knew that you'd be hanging out for at least a while beforehand. Kira's visit had troubled Cove when it first happened. It had been a sudden change thanks to Mr. Holden's infamous tendency to surprise people, but once he was able to adjust, he'd been in pretty good spirits with her around. It was a relief for everyone. The next thought that crossed your mind was, it would only be polite to get the door for Cove. You went downstairs to wait. You couldn't wait to see Cove, so you went downstairs to meet him when he arrived. Cove knew your house well enough. You could lounge in your room to wait for him. Considering we just went on a date with Cove, I'm gonna say we were really excited to see him. You bounded down the stairs, your hand gliding over the rail. You wanted to make sure you got there first. If you didn't hurry, your moms might answer it. It was only a few minutes later when the doorbell rang. As you chosen to stand beside it to wait for Cove, there was no delay in pulling it open. Could you imagine, like, your friend standing outside the door and just, like, you ring it and the door immediately opens? I feel like I'd be intimidated. Cove was there, just as you'd expected. Seeing you, he flashed you a bright grin.
Hey.
Hey, Devin. Hi. Smiling, you beckoned for him to come in and follow you upstairs. Back up in your room, you sat down on your bed and you waited for Cove to settle in as you knew he would. With other guests, you might have offered them a seat, but you and Cove were long past those tentative stages of friendship. Your room was as familiar to him as his own. You watched as Cove sat down in your desk chair, his preferred spot. He rolled it closer to the bed to make it easier to chat, tweaking the angle so that he was facing you fully. Once happy with the position, he leaned in towards you, hands held in his lap. His actions weren't the ones of someone who planned on moving from his spot anytime soon, even though you had appointed to keep together that day. When's your mom leaving?
Don't worry about it.
We've got some time. She's still got to shower and stuff before she goes. She didn't want me to ask to just keep hanging around while she was doing that. He lifted his head, his gaze drifting out through the window, and chuckled. I can't believe she's already leaving, just when I was getting used to her being there every day. He leaned back in the chair, a weary smile tickling his cheeks. Tickling? Words. You nodded. He shook his head as if shaking off the topic, like a dog whipping off water following a deep dip in the sea. The conversation lapsed into another comfortable lull. Cole swung his feet underneath the seat of the chair, eyes resting on you. Having him over here was so nice. No matter how you spent the time, you always felt better for being in his company. You couldn't help but adore him both as a friend and in a way that plucked at your heart, a vague yearning for more. Maybe it was because summer was almost over that your feelings were rushing in on you now, like a high tide at the end of a long day. Summer was such a meaningful time for the two of you. Not only because it was when you first met, but because it was a season that you could spend almost entirely as you pleased, and you both chose to spend it together. I want friendships like this. What the frick? You wanted to let Cove know how much you liked him. Oh, you didn't know completely what you felt. You were too scared to let him know. You weren't ready to admit it to Cove now. Wait, do we tell Cove we like him? Do we tell Cove we like him? I feel like we're too scared. Do we tell Cove? I know. Should I do another poll? Oh my god, Cajun! Hi! Hi, Raiders! Hi, everyone! Welcome! You want to do a poll? Okay. Hi, Cajun! How are you doing? What game are you playing? Oh my gosh, thank you for the follow! Joffrey, did I read that right? Send help, I can't read. Oh, thank you for the hydrate! We wrapped up Little Nightmares 2 today. Oh, that's awesome. How did that go? Did you like it? Don't spoil, because I'm gonna play it later, but tell them what? Oh, Raiders! My brain is so frazzled. My name is Birdie, aka Jules. I'm an LGBTQIA+.
This is Pink. Or Peach
Cajun.
or Barf.
Y'all.
Peach or Barf, Peach or Barf, Peach or Barf.
Peach or barf? Oh no, you're
Hey,
doing
Razor.
Bean Boozled?
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck, it's Barf. Oh, fuck, it's Barf.
Me, I hate Bean Boozled. I could never do that. Yeah, so I'm an LGBTQIA+ variety streamer who is neurodivergent, and we are in chaos. Thank you for the raid, Cajun. You're the best. Aw, shit. So we are playing Our Life, which is a LGBTQIA friendly visual novel. We are a non-binary character named Devin. We have 2 moms, and currently we are at the end of summer 2. So we are like teenagers, and we're about to become adults once we finish this. And right now we're figuring out whether we tell the boy we like that we like him. He is our neighbor, and we have grown up together. And we went on a date in the last episode. It was very spicy. Yeah, so welcome all. So Little Nightmares. Wait, okay, so it's very shocking. What does that mean? Is it worse than the gnome situation in the last game? Because I'm still shook by the gnome situation. So if it's worse than that, I'm excited to play that. Reminder, everyone, you are enough, you are valid, and you are worthy. Tell him? Oh, tell him. You're saying tell him, Kit. I got you. Okay. Totally a big step up from the gnome stitch. It's the worst, but tell Cove. Okay, wait, no, I'm doing a poll. I don't think we tell him. Don't forget we have a nervous crush on Cove. Do we tell him we like him? That's a bad phrasing. Do we tell Cove? Yes? No. Gayod. Because we have a nervous crush. And also we have a whole nother summer. We could tell. So, okay, here's the deal. Are we doing slow burn? Because if we're doing slow burn, I think we have to wait until next summer. Because that's the slowest possible burn that we could possibly do. You know? But we went on a date with him already. Yeah, but like, that doesn't mean anything. We went on a single date in which Cove felt uncomfortable like the entire time. So, I mean, I guess you're right, but still. If we want, I feel like slow burn could be really cute though. If we wait until, also, do we want him to confess to us? These are the things to think about. Do we want a Cove confession? Think about how Cove would confess. That could be real cute. By the way, thank you for the hydrate, Joffrey. I don't know if I said that earlier. I kind of want to do the slow burn. I'm not gonna lie, but I'll go with whatever you guys want. If you choose to tell him, I'll tell him. But I think the slow burn could be cute. And then we'll be adults. We could be 18. And I feel like it means more when you've grown up together with someone and then like in your last stages of life together. Well, not that you're gonna die at 18, but like that you confess. You know? Does that make sense? I feel like that makes sense in my brain. Also, I'm a scaredy cat, so I would like never tell anyone anything. So, okay. It looks like the winner is gonna be yes. Oh shit. Okay. Guess we're telling him. You wanted to tell how much you like him. You didn't know completely what you felt. You were too scared to let. You weren't ready to admit it. Okay. Well, let's tell him. I'm saving though. I'm saving before we do this. Okay. Let's tell him. You wanted to let Cove how much you liked him. Now is the time. You couldn't go another day without expressing these feelings you had. Ah! Okay. Oh my god, we could kiss him? You could ask if you could kiss him. Consent, folks. Consent. You spoke words of affection. I don't think we're that bold. I don't think we're that bold to just kiss him. Also, consent. You spoke words of affection. Oh my god, kiss Jackie! We're not being true to our character. You spoke words of affection. Or, okay, here's the deal. I can play out how this would work, and then we can go back and do what I actually think our character would do. How about that? I will, on stream, do what you want right now. And then I'll go back and play how I think the character will. So, you want me to ask? Okay. You asked if you could kiss. Yeah, see, Kim, you and me are on the same page, but that's just Ace buddies. You're torturing me. I have to read everything. Cove, could we kiss? Cove's eyebrows shot up fast enough that they could have flown off his face. As much as his mouth meant to drop, his head for how much it fell open.
What?
Straight up rejected! What? Why? I love Cove. I know, Jackie, I know you love Cove. I also love Cove. He clapped his hand over his mouth, his eyebrows lowered, but his expression no less terrified. You don't know that yet. I feel like this is rejection, Jackie. Oh no, I didn't mean, that's not how I meant it. It's not a bad idea or something, but like, why just that right now? Because I want to right now? I don't know. I don't want to wait any longer. Why not? You couldn't answer. Yeah, honestly, that is the heartbeat that's going on right now. Thank you, Empress Tink. So do we want, how do we go with this, Jackie? You're in charge because I want to right now. I don't know. Just mooch already? Why not? Should I say that, Darmo? I don't want to wait any longer, because I want to right now. Thank you for following, Empress Tink. I don't want to wait any longer. Okay. Okay. Cove's chest began to rise and fall visibly as he swallowed short breaths in quick succession. We're causing this kid to have a panic attack. Sorry for being weird. It's just, I kind of thought or hoped that sometimes something like this might happen, just us talking about liking each other. Oh my god, he loves us. No, he wants to talk about it, Jackie. You did? You were thinking about it before? He nodded ever so slightly. Your face felt a lot hotter after that. Cove brightened a little at your positive reaction, and his explanation continued. I, well, could sort of picture how it might go, what it'd be like with you and me. But just the first part, I couldn't ever imagine anything that come after, and now it's actually happened. We're there, it's... He took another deep breath, stuttering on the exhale. Aww, Jackie. I feel bad for your husband, Jackie. He took another deep breath, stuttering on the exhale.
That's,
This makes things different. Things don't have to be different. I can't even imagine you react like this. This is hard for me. Should we find a crystal ball for answers? What do you mean, Birdie? Rude. You're just so forward. So bold. I guess actually that's probably good for him, but still. When you first dating, I mean. Things don't have to be different. I imagined he would react like this. I'm gonna say things don't have to be different. There's nothing wrong with being forward and bold. Exactly, Darmon. No shame in that. When we first dated, yeah, deaf forward. Now I get shy sometimes. Aw, that's sweet, Jackie. He gave you a wan smile. Thanks, but I don't think that will work. I can't just forget. I definitely can't. Finally, Cove drew in a breath, deeper than you would have thought his lungs could hold. They must have managed somehow, however, because he held it in without so much as a puff exhaled. That would have made sense if he had been about to dive underwater, but sitting in the middle of your room, it was an odd and concerning choice. Cove? Are you alright? He didn't respond, sitting as rigidly as a statue. You were about to get up, or at least nudge the chair with your foot, when he let out a breath and took another. This one, while deep, wasn't quite as dramatic. As chicken shit that is filled with self-doubt, this one being forward would be very nice. Okay, Darmo, that's fair. I feel like being forward is great. Cove is such a bean. He's such like, I feel bad pushing him into being uncomfortable. He can't forget us. Is he about to kiss us? I don't know, Jackie. This one, while deep, wasn't quite as dramatic. Okay. I think he's about to kiss us. This choice cracked on the word. The "oh" squeaking you followed by a dip on the second syllable. You perked up, straightening up in your seat. It wasn't quite... Oh, here comes Casper. It wasn't clear whether it was a response to your original question or the follow-up, ready to ask if he was alright. But having him speak again was a good start. We can kiss. I want to do that. A gasp escaped you. It was okay. He wanted to kiss you. Jackie, I hope I'm living out your fantasies for you right now. You kissed him. You were scared, but kissed him. But you couldn't do it after all. Should we be scared? But technically, this is our first kiss, right? Should we be scared but kiss him? Let's go for it, right? Let's do it. Oh! You untangled yourself from your resting position and stood up. Realizing your intent to actually go for it, Cove straightened up in the chair, his hands coiled together in his lap. As you moved towards him, you noticed his knees knocking together as he trembled. His decision not to rise from the chair made perfect sense. If he was that shaky while sitting down, there's no way he managed to stand without at least one of you falling over. Let go before we lose nerve. Yeah, I know. Your legs brushed against his quivering ones as you came to a stop in front of him. Cove was staring up at you. As you leaned in towards him, he echoed the motion. He echoed? He mirrored? I feel like mirrored would have been the better word. Motion and drew in towards you. Chife is missing out on sitting on Cove's lap right now. I'm just saying. Once you were close enough to feel Cove's breath on your face, you closed your eyes. The last thing you saw was Cove quickly doing the same. Your lips met with Cove's for a moment. His lips were pressed tightly together, unyielding. But it was all right. You were kissing him, and he was kissing you. Your stomach somersaulted. You couldn't believe it was really happening. In that moment, it felt warm, it felt nice, and it felt right. Oh my god, it's happening. I'm dying. Just for you, Jackie. You drew back and Cove slipped down in the chair, the knuckles of his hands pale after gripping so tightly. Thinking that he could do with some space to breathe, figuratively and literally, you took a step back. Cove shot up, his stance rigid. He's so cute. Why does he look like he's about to barf though? Cove plastered her hand over his mouth, his eyes shut tight. His back then became bowed, shrinking him down. You could only just make out the few words he managed to summon.
Oh my god, oh my god.
Oh my god, oh my god! I can't believe we actually... His eyes flew open wide, but he didn't look your way, let alone meet your gaze.
Oh my god.
We kissed! We kissed! His reaction was really cute. You watched him adoringly as he tried to gather his senses. Cove only slammed his eyes closed once again. Did you like it? Was that bad? It was nice, wasn't it? Cove, it's okay. Did I do something wrong? Cove, baby. Yeah, he's such a little bean. Cinnamon bun of a human being. Let's not ask if it was bad because I feel like that's weird. Cove, it's okay. He was still holding the hand over his face, but in an attempt to answer, he emitted a muffled whimper. With that obviously not working, he uncovered his face at last, bringing the hand to lay against his chest and looked at you. I don't think the first three are normal responses. Fair. Yeah. He opened his mouth, poised to speak, and pursed his lips as words failed to him. On his third and fourth attempt, he heard what he had to say. I did like it. I'm glad that we, you know. He swallowed, suddenly not able to speak the actual word. You could relate. It was really embarrassing to say it out loud. You grinned, thrilled that the experience had been a welcome one. The smile on Cove's face was real but weary, not unlike the one he wore after a long and exhausting day of activity. Like when he made a new personal best. The work had been hard, but the reward had been worth it. Okay. With some newfound confidence, he drew himself up as he inhaled deeply. Each word he spoke was delicate. Devin, I like you. I am deceased! Cove! A lot. Probably way too much. Baby! He tucked his head bashfully and opened an eye, peeking at you through the hair that had fallen over his face like a veil. He managed to smile.
Thanks for waiting for me.
Thanks for waiting. Oh my god! He's so flipping cute! His eyes sparkled just looking at you, his affection transparently clear. He never could hide that he was feeling, and you couldn't be more grateful for that till today. We will wait forever, Cove! Yeah, we will. I like you too. Cove squeaked out a nervous giggle. He curled his hands into a loose fist and brushed the knuckles idly against his cheek. Words evaded him as he opened his mouth and closed it again. Oh no, Darvel, what the heck did you clip? I don't... He gave up on finishing the sentence, instead just smiling again. He rubbed his eyes with the heel of his hand. It was an action usually reserved for much later in the day, but at this point, it already felt like a long day. Cove then pressed a hand to his creased forehead.
Oh my god.
Does this mean I'm your boyfriend or something now? Should we tell our parents? I don't know what dad or mom would do. There were a lot of concerns in there. You honed in on the simplest. There was no way your moms would let you have a boyfriend, even though that word juxtaposed with Cove's name made your heart race. Yes, boyfriend Cove. Mine neither. I wish we were older. It doesn't matter though, we like each other and that's what's important. You didn't know what to say. It's okay. It's not fair. I'm gonna say it's not important. Nothing anybody else thought of your relationship changed, that it was between the two of you. I just got an achievement for budding romance, y'all. We can get it we can get it to work. We always figure things out sooner or later. Your purple eyes locked with his and said the words that your smiling mouth couldn't. His eyes widened, the message received. He returned the smile eagerly. Devin, Cove! The sudden call from downstairs caught both you aware. You nearly forgotten the world outside your room. From the guilty look on his face, Cove had done the same. Just had a call. Cove's mom is ready to go. If you're quick, she might keep the mandated motherly smothering to a minimum. You doubted that, but it was nice that Mom and Mrs. Pierce had their... Okay. I think we're done with that scene, so I'm gonna save that plot line. We're gonna save it, and then I'm gonna go back. Oh, no. Whoop! I almost overrided. And we're gonna go back and do what I think we'd actually do in this situation, but now we know how cute that can be. That path line, very cute. We about it. But Jackie, I don't think we can be boyfriend because we're too young. Don't forget, we're like only 13, 14 right now. The best fast. I disagree. Slow burns are very good. You were too scared to let him know. Where you were now felt safe, it was good. You couldn't handle the possibility of messing it up. The two of you tried to find something to say now. Luckily, it didn't end up being that hard. This was a really nice summer. I'm glad we got to spend so much time together. Cove still nestled cozily into your chair, smiled at your response. How are your fish doing? Really good. things in the tank are stable and everybody looks healthy. Oh my god, my cat's sitting on my headphone. Ah! Okay. It was nice to hear. You learned from Cove how hard it was to maintain an aquarium. Slow burn is good too. Yes, it is, Jackie. I also feel like because we're like kids right now, I feel like I'd rather confess as an 18-year-old than a child. I don't know why. I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like it'll be good. You learned from Cove how hard it was. Glop has, oh, I forgot we named his fish Glop. Glop has been busy. Keeps darting between the plants and out again when I walk by, like a game of peekaboo. Birdie playing the long game. I am. Okay, tell me a good slow burn. Enemies to lovers, 1, is one of my favorite plot points in a book. And 2, friendships slow burns. So good. But okay, I highly think this has to do with like the fact that I'm Demi, right? Because for me, it's like who people are matters a lot, and like personality and stuff. So like the slow burn really lets that develop. So we love it. Or hide and seek. Yeah. Cove idly glanced out the window. He gave a resigned sigh. It's gonna be harder to surf, you know, with school. It's getting colder out. I don't want to get rusty. Surfing's cool when we can. It's too bad we can't make the most of the waves, but there's other fun stuff to do. He gave a light smile, coupled with a shrug as a response. Won't be long until we get our grades for that summer work we did. Cove's bang spluttered as he hopped thinking into the chair. I'm not looking forward to that. We'll just have to see what mine are like. Friends to lovers is my favorite trope. Same. Friends to lovers is good. I don't know why I like enemies to lovers so much. I think it's just like the banter that comes with it. There's so much good banter with enemies to lovers that I enjoy that trope a lot. Do you think we'll see Miranda around school this year? Probably. She could be in one of our classes again. You hope that you see her often. I like Miranda. Devin, Cove. The sudden call from downstairs caught you both unaware. You nearly forgotten the world outside your room. From the guilty look in his face, Cove had done the same. Okay, I do think the kissing, that line was way cuter. That was way cuter. Just had a call from Cove's mom. Is ready to go. Blah, 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 blah. We've already read this. You doubted that, but it was nice that Mom and Mrs. Pierce had their strange sense of humor in common. Your eyes met Cove's. Wordlessly, you headed downstairs together. Are we friends, Kit? Oh, Dino, I'm your friend. Each step on the way, there was a painfully slow, like he was trying to delay the inevitable. His whole body tense leaving the house, and Cove froze altogether before you both could cross the street.
Oh.
The door's open. Dad must be taking her stuff out. He swallowed hard. She's really gonna leave. You smiled at him reassuringly. You weren't sure what to say or how else to react, other than being there to support him. Cove's bottom lip quivered, and he turned away. Thanks. At that, some of the conflict wearing on his face eased a bit. Together, you went across the street inside this house, finding his parents in the living room surrounded by his mom's packed things. Oh god, what's Cove's dad's voice? I'm so bad at it. Hey kids, it's me, Father Burb. Good timing. I just called the taxi.
Hi.
Hi, Devin. So glad I get to... Thank you for the follow, Kayla 24496. Welcome, welcome. And hi, Devin. So glad I get to see you today. It was fabulous getting to know you this summer. I finally got to put a face to the name I've heard so many times. She winked and Cove pouted on cue over the teasing. I'm really happy I got to meet you too. Hopefully it won't be too long before we get to see each other again. Nodding, Kira turned her attention back to her boys. She patted Cliff on the arm with a warm smile, and then she enveloped Cove in a crushing hug. This is sad. Initially, Cove squirmed to break free from her grip, but his mom was unfazed and kept him locked in place. Her heartbeats later, he gave in and hugged her back tightly.
I'm so glad.
I'm so happy this trip was a success. Cliff looked like he was bursting with pride. Well, not 100% a success, but still, a passing grade, I think. Thinking back on everything that happened this summer, he started to look sheepish. Cliff scratched the side of his head, and an awkward chuckle escaped Cove. There are ways it could have gone smoother. I'm still keeping that in mind for the future. Yeah, don't surprise people, Mr. Cove, Dad.
Alright.
Good for you, Cliff, and I'll be trying harder to stay more in the loop. You watched as Cove smiled softly at both his parents, and you felt relieved seeing how much the whole family had come together since you first met them. Despite any underlying trouble, love was still there. After that, it wasn't long before the taxi arrived. Blowing up in front of the house and in clear view of the open door, Kira stood up, smiling sadly. Well, that's my ride. Yeah. The magic. Yeah. I was like, how do I do two voices at once? The matching reply got a chuckle out of Kira as you all filled out of the house. Father and son went with Kira's bags in hand. Once outside, you spotted your family waiting by the street, and in your surprise, Derek was also with them. He stood uncomfortably and waved as soon as he noticed him.
What's up?
This would have been so interesting, having like done the dating part with Cove. Oh god, what did I do with his voice? Hey Devin, hey Cove. I don't remember. When did you get here? My dad dropped me off just a little bit ago. Thought I could visit one more time before school started.
Sorry.
You picked a busy time, sorry. Derek couldn't even look at Cove. He nervously kept rolling a pebble with the bottom of his shoe.
Sorry.
I wasn't even thinking about your mom would be leaving today. I'm sorry, dude. What? You're not interrupting anything. You're always welcome here. I love that Cove's dad's name is Cove's dad and Cove's mom's name is Kira. It would have been sad if I didn't get to say goodbye before leaving. I think so too. It was apparent Derek would have preferred to have gotten there at a more opportune moment. He never liked some seeming impolite, but their reassuring words soothed his worries. The tension was holding in his body lessened, and he looked like he was feeling much more like himself. Bye, Derek. It was fun getting to know you. Bye, ma'am. Is there anything I can do to help? Nah, don't worry yourselves over that. We're just about set. Why are you winking? In the short amount of time Cliff had gathered and packed the bags into the trunk, Kara took one last look at everyone inside. All right, I don't want to keep the driver waiting. It's time to head out. The little crowd that had formed around started their chorus of farewells, and well-wishing traveling, but Kira still made no move to get into the taxi. She placed her attention on Cove. I'll call when I get to the airport and when I make it to Nevada. Also, you better call the moment you walk in the door at home. Otherwise, we'll be wondering all night if you got into trouble on the way there. Can do that. And could you call tomorrow too, so I can tell you how school went? Of course. I want to hear all about it. Kara put a hand on Cove's head and affectionately ruffled his hair one last time. She then let go, only to move on to squeezing his cheek in her hands instead. Mom!
Cove.
I love you so much, baby. She was chuckling by the time she freed him and rounded things off with a small tap to the tip of his nose. Cove rubbed at his face with a grin. Finally, she walked to the car while waving and took her seat in the taxi. Cliff hooked an arm around Cove's shoulder and kept him close as it began to pull away. For a moment, Cove looked at his dad and then wrapped an arm across his back.
Bye.
Bye, Mom. Bye. It's just the sound was unexpected, Jackie. It doesn't have anything to do with being scared, it just like startled me. Kara rolled down the window and stuck her head out. She waved again, blowing kisses at Cove and Cliff. See you again. Before she was out of sight, you decided to... Oh, wait, go back. Oh, whoo, that was close. Call out with your family hers. As you added your voice yellings, you watched Claire's smile grow larger. The cab turned down another road and completely disappeared from view. Cove let go of his dad and took a few steps out into the empty street, still looking into the direction his mom went. He smiled quietly, deep in thought. You got the impression Cove was feeling better than he was earlier. He was finally content with the way things were. The summer breeze brought a sweet-sounding jingle across the way. It was the wind chime you had given Cove. Okay, dinner's ready. Going to be lurking. Thanks for lurking, Jazazzy, and for jump scaring me, I guess. You could not pick a jump scare option. That's fair. Hold on. I should count that. You did get me. The summer breeze brought a sweet blah blah blah. He had hung it at the front of his house, and it had become a very familiar sound in this neighborhood. You jumped a bit when your mom put a hand on your shoulder, pulling you away from your thoughts. She smiled when you looked at her. This was a great vacation, huh? Yeah. That's what I was hoping to hear. Cove walked back to the group, still genuinely happy. Derek grinned at him welcomingly, and everyone else there smiled at him, even Elizabeth.
Well?
Well? Ma clapped her hands together, bringing everyone's attention back to the present. I knew you were gonna clip that. Bye, Zazzy. Have a nice dinner. It's almost time for lunch. I think I'll put something special together. Her eyes sparkled with a plan, and Mom smiled. I bet you could use some help with that. That would be absolutely wonderful. Derek glanced between the two, his eyebrows furrowed. Is there something I could do? Your moms exchanged a fond expression. Ma shook her head.
How sweet.
That's very sweet, Derek, but it's all right. It's not your job. Technically, your dad left you under Cliff's watch. You're meant to be taken care of by him, not doing chores for the neighbors. Mom laughed a little over her own joke. You watched Derek look away, discouraged. I love that Mom does dad jokes / mom jokes.
It's okay.
It's okay, I don't mind. He was a little bashful about it. You wonder if Mom's joke had just reminded him that he wasn't initially meant to be invited to lunch. It was getting a little awkward. Mom grinned sympathetically. Her comment was meant to lighten the mood, not bring it back down. Ma tried again to get things moving forward. Why don't you kids go have fun? You can all come back in about an hour. We'll make enough for everyone. Mom nodded in agreement.
Sounds good.
Another stunning idea, Lainey. Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. That sounds like a plan. I don't know why I made this his voice. That I don't need to cramp your style. I've got some stuff to work on, so I can be out of your hair this afternoon. You should come by later, too. No reason you should be out... on-manned out. Hi, Shadow! Thank you for lurking from work. I appreciate you. I hope you're having wonderful work times. Words are hard today. Send help. And I'm doing the double shout out because I want to see clips too. The jump scare was epic. I was here for it. Zazigami is so good.
I do math for a living.
You do math for a living?
I don't envy you. Yeah, I don't
too gay for math.
envy you because I hate math.
Can't relate. I can totally relate to not wanting to do math. That's how I feel every time I play D&D. I'm like, math, too hard. Alright. No reason you should be the odd man out. What is it gonna pull up? The math? Mom seemed amused as Cliff rubbed his neck nervously. He grinned a waving but pleased smile.
Thanks very much.
I appreciate the invite. He looked over at the assembled crowd with knowing glances. I can help too, with as many people as you're feeding. That's going to be a lot of food. Didn't you hear what I told Derek? It wouldn't be fair to make you cook when we're the ones who are inviting you. Ma raised an eyebrow when Cliff waved it off.
Come on.
I insist. Derek would be missing time with pals. This would be a break for me. I'm quite the chef. Ma and Mom exchanged further glances before Mom shrugged.
True.
An airtight argument. If you're sure you'll be happy to have you, Chef Cliff. Cliff's grin widened and seemed more hyped than you'd expected him to be about helping with lunch. Cove shook his head, a fond smile on his face. Then, all us grown-up people will be heading inside. I assume the rest of you kiddos are staying out. Maybe not all of them. Ma tilted her head, a silent question for Elizabeth. Your sister thought for a moment.
All right.
I'll stay with the kids.
That's fantastic.
That's great. Both your moms smiled at her, while Derek and Cove didn't seem to appreciate her phrasing. But with the plan decided, all three parents waved and headed for your house. It was just you teenagers now. Elizabeth looked at you and the others, a curious expression on her face.
So
what now? You silently wondered if Elizabeth only stayed out with you to avoid getting roped into work. Then again, she could just generally want to hang out. You couldn't tell with your sister. Cove spoke up after no one else did to answer Elizabeth's question. Want to go down to the shopping street? It's been a while, and I don't think there's a lot of other things we could agree on. Yeah, sure.
Awesome.
Sounds awesome to me. Unlike you guys, I haven't been there 1,001 times. It's new to me. Let's do it! You strolled across the road as a group, down to the beach and then to the left. It took less than 15 minutes to arrive, one of the conveniences of Sunset Bird. The four of you looked around at the familiar shops, trying to see if anything caught your attention this time. Derek was the most enthusiastic. He checked out every stall with his eyes wide with wonder. Elizabeth and Cove were in good spirits as well. That's so cool! He ran over to a street musician who was currently doing a card trick for a group of enchanted tourists. Derek clapped when the magician showed a middle-aged man his card. Derek turned back to the group with a curious gleam on his face. What does it take to perform here anyways? Do you have to ask somebody, or do you just show up and start doing stuff? Who would you even ask? It's a public street. Hey, Miss Mayor, can I pull a rabbit out of my hat? Please. Flopsy is well behaved, I promise. Derek chuckled, his eyes searching up and down the street.
Maybe?
Maybe there's a boss of the shopping street. No one does any of this around my neighborhood. It's just regular stores behind walls. It's different if someone wants a real store, but here, I'm pretty sure people are just putting on their little shows whenever they want and do whatever. That's so neat. Would we be allowed to do something too? Cove laughed and Derek began to almost vibrate with excitement. Elizabeth rolled her eyes. What would we do? Well, I don't know what. Not yet, I mean. I just found out it's a possibility, you know? But there's gotta be something we know cool stuff. I'm sure if we think about it, we could plan a show that really got a crowd pumped. You thought it was a great idea and wanted to be a part of it. You felt like he could try this idea on his own. You thought Derek needed to be abandoned that idea stat. You gave a look to the others. What would we do? What would we do? I feel like we'd let him do this on his own. He could try this idea on his own. We want to sit with our bae. I wonder if I could do some soccer tricks. Do you think that'd work? I don't know yet. With some amusement, the gang continued to pursue the stalls. Elizabeth found some earrings with a dangly, badly misprinted globe that everyone laughed at. Cove picked up a blob as Iceland, but Derek thought that it had to be Greenland. You know, this is a world with what looks like 9 continents. I think you're both wrong. No, it's Australia. The other 3 giggled at your interjection. Suddenly, Cove froze. You stared at him and then tried to see what caught his attention. When you saw a familiar face down the way, it all made sense. Oh no, is it Jeremy? Between the crowds, his bright hair stood out like a neon green ball in a kitchen sink. It was Jeremy, my arch nemesis. No, I hate Jeremy. Jeremy slowly drifted his eyes down the street and his eyes widened in mutual recognition. He definitely noticed you. Derek frowned and Cove tensed up. You couldn't help but remember the last time you'd seen Jeremy at Miranda's birthday party. No wonder Cove was already defensive. Oh yeah, he tried to bully us. Didn't he? At Miranda's party? I'm gonna glare. Screw you, Jeremy. You narrowed your eyes and directed your dislike. Elizabeth raised an eyebrow. Her gaze swept over Jeremy without a hint of a clue. Jeremy simply scoffed to himself and waded deeper into the crowd of people. Derek relaxed and exhaled loudly. I'm glad he's not gonna start anything. He peeked over at Elizabeth with a tiny smirk. See? That was the mean kid.
What?
Huh? She still didn't get it. The first summer day hadn't made nearly as much of an impression on her as it did for Derek. But he smiled and waved it off. All problems can be solved holding close hand. I know, I wonder if I went back and if we did the kiss again and we went through back, and then if we'd be able to hold hands right now. That would be so cute. I like the slow bird too. Even though we could be dating Cove. It's fine. Just forget about him. I already have. He laughed and Cove smiled lightly. He seemed in a much better mood now that Jeremy was gone. Your eyes wandered over to where Jeremy disappeared. You hadn't forgotten the day you met him either. He was only going to be in town for a vacation with the parents he hated. That glimpse was probably the last time you would ever see him. You mentioned that realization to everyone. I don't think Jeremy will stay here with summer ending. That might have been the last time we ever see him. Yeah, guess we won't have to worry about that guy anymore. Derek kicked a little rock in the road. It clattered forward and then rolled under a stall. But I still think it's kind of sad Jeremy turned out to be, well, like he is. It would have been nice to make another friend. Cove shook his head. He was clearly not broken up over what might have been. Good riddance. Elizabeth rolled her eyes at the strange farewell to the odd boy, not interested in the slightest. She clearly didn't understand his impact, and at this point, she didn't want to understand. Jeremy was unlike anyone you had ever met before. You thought he was horrible. The kid freaking bullied us at Miranda's party, and then said horrible things about Cove, and then said horrible things about us, in which Cove had to stand up for us. Ugh, I hate Jeremy. You and the group moved on from the stall and from Jeremy. It didn't take long for everyone to return to the joking you all enjoyed what little time you had left, as Elizabeth mentioned the hour was almost up. The little trip had flown by, and lunch must have been waiting for you now. Derek bounced on the balls of his feet.
Okay.
Come on, guys, let's go going so we can eat. I'm starving. I can't wait. Cove stretched one of his arms lazily. Let's go then. You looked at him appraisingly. We're praising Cove. Hey, Cove. Oh my god, we can ask him to carry us back to the house? Give us a piggyback ride, Cove. Or we just nod. Piggyback ride. All the way. Let's get a piggyback ride. It's gonna be a thing. You asked Cove to carry you back to the house. Hey, Cove? Yeah? I wanted to ask you something. Could you carry me home?
What?
What? Cove turned red, obviously flustered. You explained you wanted a piggyback ride. You didn't want to walk back. You told him it was a special occasion. She decided to let it go. We want a piggyback ride, Cove. I kind of want a piggyback ride from somebody. I hope that's okay. Cove sighed and shook his head. Elizabeth and Derek became a chorus of laughter. Well, please? Maybe? Alright. Cove stepped over to you. He looked like he couldn't believe what he was doing. Your lips quirked into a large smile. Thank you, Cove! He carefully crouched down in front of you so that you could climb on. It took a little bit of clambering to get yourself completely up on Cove's back. However, when Cove slipped his arms under your legs and stood up, you felt very secure. Elizabeth watched with a smirk on her face while Derek laughed even harder. It was fair to say that your antics were entertaining. You were glad Cove went with it. Cove carried you home, but he seemed pretty bashful about the situation. He struggled with how much to grip around you, whether or not he should try to reposition things. It was a pleasant walk home, and in no time you had made it back. Derek got to the front door and held it open for everyone as you each moseyed inside. The three parents were still in the kitchen. They looked up and waved. Welcome back, everyone. You just made it just in time.
Hey.
I hope you're hungry. When Cove had brought you inside, the parents wouldn't help but notice the odd convenience. Your moms were unsure, and Mr. Holden raised an eyebrow. Wait, oh, the piggyback ride.
Everything okay?
Did you pull something, Devin? I'm okay. Cove, you've gotten so strong.
Good kid.
And reliable. What a guy. Clip! Cove rolled his eyes at the commentary, then started walking to your couch. You bent down and let yourself plop back on the couch. Thank you, I appreciate it. Cove exhaled loudly and shook out his arms. He just seemed relieved that he made it. So, did everyone have a nice time out? She gestured for the people to take a seat at the table. Plates and silverware have already been placed out. You took your normal seat, Elizabeth sat across from you, and Derek took the seat to your left. Cove sat on your right. Yeah, we had a great time. It was fine. I had fun. I really liked it. That's good in my book. Casually, Mr. Holden sat in the empty seat across from Cove. He smiled at you and the other kids. Mom set down a platter full of water glasses on the table. She looked down at the gathering. It's a good thing we have 8 chairs. I can't remember the last time we've had a group this big over for a meal. Can you pass the drinks down to the other side? Make sure you all get one. Sure. Those close to the cups obliged and started offering waters around. As everything got set up, Ma chided Elizabeth to take her elbows off the table.
Now.
And you shouldn't slouch. She pointed to Mr. Holden, who was leaning forward with both arms on the table. Oops. Mr. Holden seemed unsure about all of the sudden attention and carefully rearranged his posture to something suitable for a fancy dinner. He smiled sheepishly at Ma. Elizabeth rolled her eyes, and Ma gave a level look at her. You shouldn't be impolite to a guest in our house either. Elizabeth groaned, long and long suffering. Ma giggled, and Mr. Holden chuckled.
Not bad.
That? The lot of you could learn a thing or two from Derek. He has the best manners here. Derek blushed, but it was true. His posture was upright and formal. He even held his fork gracefully. His table manners, on top of all his attempts to aid your parents, made him the model of meal attendee behavior.
Aw.
It's nothing. It's true, though. You have been a lovely guest. I've noticed that, too. It's always nice when you stay over, Derek. Derek smiled and sat a little taller in his chair. And do you have anything good to say about our other guest? She looked deliberately at Cove with a teasing smirk. Don't pick on my boyfriend! I mean, future boyfriend? Or is there just nothing to say? Well, Cove's my number 1, but he does still clean his hands by wiping them on his pants. Cove frowned at that and absentmindedly brushed his hands on his pants legs. Your mom's laughed lightly.
There.
Elizabeth, you should know, after all these years, Cove is hardly a guest anymore. Cove smiled awkwardly. Thanks. Manners. Who cares? I don't think that it's that big of a deal. You teased Cove for his bad habit. You complimented Derek on his politeness. You joke that Derek was basically an adult. You got quiet and took a bite of Suits. Manners. We stick by our boy. Don't think I'm not seeing your elbows where they shouldn't be, Devin. Everyone ate their meal together and continued to hang out for the afternoon. After the food, you and the others played a couple of games and talked about plans for the upcoming year. The time passed quickly by, and soon it was time to part ways. Mr. Holden talked to your moms, and Cove drifted over to you, knowing that as soon as his dad finished up, he would be leaving. It'd be cool to stay, but we have some stuff to do before everything closes today.
Okay.
Yeah, bye. Could you move? I need the phone. Cove raised an eyebrow, and Elizabeth impatiently gestured behind him. Cove realized he was standing right in front of where the receiver was placed. He stepped aside, out of the way, and shook his head, clearly thinking Elizabeth was rushing too much. Your sister made a beeline for the phone and started dialing the number of what you figured was one of her friends. Knowing Elizabeth, she was going to be on there for a while. You and Cove and Derek, wow, I can't read, shuffled closer to the door. It seemed like Mr. Holden was wrapping up his conversation, so everyone started saying their various farewells.
Talk to you later.
See you later, Cove. We gotta do this again sometime. Yeah, see you. Cove turned to you and smiled slightly. Bye, Devin. Bye, Cove! I'm gonna hug him. You stepped forward and spread your arms wide. Cove only had a moment to react before you encircled him in your arms. Cove hugged you back tightly, and his chest rumbled as he laughed. His cheeks were slightly red, especially when he looked over and noticed that Derek had watched the whole thing. Derek smiled amusedly. Seriously, dude, we'll have to hang out later. I'm gonna miss you during school. He offered to Cove a high five, and the two boys clapped their hands together. Cove and his dad left soon after that. Your parents started cleaning up the house, and Elizabeth was still chatting with her friend on the phone. It was just you and Derek left. He elected to stay outside in front of the house to wait for his dad to pick him up. You decided to keep your guest company, although he was originally Cove's visitor. A light summer breeze blew through your hair, and Derek shifted his weight from foot to foot. Thanks for waiting with me. He kicked at the ground distractedly.
Well,
Dad's still gonna be a while, so do you want to go for a walk? Okay. The two of you walked down the street again, just wandering without a destination planned. It was a quiet stroll. Too quiet for Derek being the company. You turned to him when you had noticed that he wasn't saying a word. That was unusual. Derek usually had something he could chat about. You weren't sure if you should ask about it. Somehow you ended up at the old park near the beach. You glanced over to Derek once more, still expecting him to say something any second now. However, nothing came from him. In fact, now you noticed a frown creeping on his face. Derek smiled when he realized you were watching. At least, his mouth turned up. There wasn't anything that really felt happy in the expression. He turned away, and the smile fell off his face. His eyes stared intently at the ground, and you raised an eyebrow. Is everything okay? I'm a little sad. It's just, with school starting back up, it's gonna be harder to visit. I'm gonna have homework and clubs and practice and everything else.
This sucks.
It really sucks. We have to go to different schools. His face screwed up and his fists were closed tightly together. This was really concerning him. What if we don't have time? You channeled some optimism into the conversation. We'll make time. We can talk over the phone and have plans for the weekends. It'll be okay. Derek looked up at the sky. It was orange and purple with little wisps of clouds scattered around. A plane flew high with a jet stream trailing behind it. Then he turned to the ground again. Hi, Buggy! Welcome back! How was your nap? Thank you for lurking! I love you, friend! Okay, I need water desperately. Derek's face was tilted far enough down that it was harder to read his expression. Hey, Devin, I actually wanted to talk to you about something, if you don't mind. What's he got? Wait, what? There was a pause, and you waited for him to finish his thought.
Sorry.
I was just kinda wondering, do you like guys at all? Like, would you ever want to be with someone who was a boy? Sorry if that's weird to ask. Can we just talk about how all of the characters, instead of just being like, I like you, or like making a move, are like, hey, are you even romantically attracted to X person? Like, I love that. Make that the norm. Make that the norm. Make it the norm. Anyways, are you asking me out there? Because this is about to get awkward. I don't want to give him an answer. Wait, Cove. We're dating Cove in my brain. What do you eat? What do we do? I could be with a guy, maybe. I don't know. You didn't answer him. I don't want to talk about that. What did we say when we were with Cove? What did we decide our sexuality was? I think we did pretty much my sexuality, which is... I think we went like the ace route, but like romantically had interest in everyone. I'm pretty sure that's what we went with. Wait, maybe he thinks he wants you to be with Cove. Oh, that's true. Okay then. He hesitated before finishing his question.
So,
What I mean is, just, is there any guy you think is cool, like, you like around here, not as cool or anything like that? Are you sure, Jackie? I'm 90% sure that he is asking this kid out. I mean, us out. He ducked his head further. You thought about it. Yeah, kid, I think we went demi-pan, which is, yeah. Wait, maybe he thinks... I take it back. He likes us. I know. Wait, what do we do? I like you. No, we don't. We don't like you, Derek. Well, I like Cove. Mr. Holden. I like Mr. Holden. Mr. Holden is an adult. Excuse me. There are a lot of guys I think are cool. Not right now. I don't really want to say that. We like Cove. Get lost, noob. I know. I wonder what would have happened if we did the route, Jackie, that you had asked for where we had kissed him. If we kept going with that and this scene happened, I wonder if the dialogue would be different. If it would be like, we're with Cove, like we're dating Cove. I wonder if that would have changed anything. We could play dumb and just say there are a lot of guys we think are cool. We like Cove. Well, I like Cove. Derek chuckled and didn't look at all surprised. Yeah, I kind of thought so. That's cool. I really hope things work out. Thanks for answering my random questions. Aww! What a nice kid! He shot you a thumbs up. I hope we'll always be friends, no matter what. Derek! Wait, this is how everyone should handle rejection. Even if we don't see each other for a long time, or if we get really busy, still hope. He cut himself off and met your eyes. There was something serious to him, sincerely worried that you'd fall out of friendship. I hope so too. I want us to be friends forever. Derek smiled, mostly to himself. He seemed a little more like the usual. Okay, take back the noob. Derek is a nice boy. Yeah, this game has nothing but respect. Head pads for Derek. True. Derek handled that rejection like a pro. He handled that more maturely than actual adults. Then, for sure, we have to make the most of next year. Then the year after, and the year after that. He rambled on for a while about things. Well, make the most of every year. Right. You smiled and felt like your friendship was still strong. You didn't spend much longer at the park after that. Derek didn't want to miss his dad, so you both made your way back to your street. After Derek went back home, you decided to settle in for the night. Stretching your arms over your head, you noticed that the living room and the phone were free. Let's call Lee! You called Lee. You picked up the receiver and quickly punched in the familiar number while going to take a seat on the couch. Soon enough, after explaining the situation to the housekeeper, Lee answered, "Genuine love is when you're glad you're still friend even when nothing will happen. Right, Kit? Right, that is love and respect for another human being. That is actually thinking someone is your friend." Hey! Ow, I just punched myself in the head. Hey Lee, can you talk? Definitely. We practically have to. My gosh, can you believe it's almost the time for school to start? What happened to our summer? School starts first thing tomorrow for me.
Bill.
Ew, and I thought starting next week was bad enough. Enjoy your last week. Oh, I will. I hope you'll survive your first day. Me too. I need a good year. Ditto. At least summer was nice while it lasted, right? We were busy. Yeah. Fondly, you thought about all the best memories you made this summer. Lee was there for some, though there were still many you hadn't filled her in on yet. You reminisced about your summer with her. You began to speak about... Oh, we have to tell her about asking Cove out on a date. Wait, hold on. Is that an option? The soiree at the country club. Lead in with the good stuff. I went to a soiree at my mom's country club. There was lots of food, dancing, and people dressed up formally.
Cool.
Oh, I've been to one of those. They're cool. But how did it go for you? Cove was my date. No way! You asked him on a date? Like a date? Yeah. Ooh. After laughing a bit, you drove in telling Lee everything about your night with Cove. You enjoyed sharing the memory with her. Hi, Minty! How are you doing, friend? Let's tell her about... Oh! Thank you for what's happening, for hosting. Thank you, Minty, for hosting. Sometimes I can't read those notifications. Thank you so much. I'm doing good. That's good. How is your day going? Doing anything fun today? We are in the midst of the end of summer 2 for our life. We asked our main squeeze on a date, and then we did a whole separate paradoxical timeline where we kissed him, and now we're back into the timeline where we were too nervous to do that. But that was like the fantasy in our brain. Let's tell her about the wild ride. Oh, one time Mom's Cove had me and Cove go on her with this ride all over town. Why'd you do that? Just cuz? Sort of. We got caught in the sun shower and she wanted to help us air dry and kept it going from there. I had a blast. We did so much that night. I hope it's not too much that you can't tell me all of it. You chuckled a little and started giving the play-by-play of the trip. You moved on to talk about her. Let's not too much about us. Oh, thanks, Buggy. So if you don't know what's happening in the U.S., this is trigger warming, but it has been some horrible attacks on Asian Americans, and so I wanted to provide some support and resources for anyone who might need them. We have a mental health link there. If you need some support in that area, if you would like to donate to support people and the hate crimes stuff going on, there's a donate link there. There's a list of resources if you need to learn about any stuff. And then an intake form if you need that. And there's also a link there for if you need some safety or some group help in the Oakland area, that people will be willing to walk you home or do things with you. And I'm compiling more of a list that I might make a Google Doc for to support all of my Asian American friends, who I know we have a lot of in this community. So I love you all, and I hope you're doing okay. What was your big highlight of the summer, Lee? Talking to you is always the best part of my summer, Lee. Even though it was a phone call, you just knew that Lee was winking at you. You laughed. All right. Okay, so a high point for me was when I took the trip with my parents to Europe. That was amazing. You and Lee continued to go over your adventures until you were both yawning to each other over the phone. Right now, I'm making a burger for my breakfast. A burger for breakfast? That sounds delicious, Minty. We in the Asian community have been very ruffled more and more lately. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Kit. If there's anything I can do in any ways I can support better, let me know. I honestly, I feel really bad that I was not more aware of what was happening. I have been quitting social media more or less, and unfortunately that means I was very uninformed about things happening. So I spent this last week doing a lot of research and compiling a lot of resources so that I could help hopefully be a better ally, and I wanted to make sure that I highlighted it on stream so that people who aren't aware could be aware, and if people needed support that they could find it. And people call me Ryan's Toy Review. I know, Minty, that's horrible. People like... Yeah. I love you, Kit. Love you, Minty. I'm so sorry that you both are facing suspicious comments and are struggling right now. I am here for you. All of the love and support. All of the love and support. Okay. I thought you decided it was time to say goodbye for now. You didn't have school to wake up in the morning. Bye, Lee.
Bye.
Night, Devin. Talk to you later. You left the phone on the side table for now. Looking at the clock on the wall, you saw that there was only about 10 minutes until your moms would be insisting you had to go to bed, so you could be rested enough for school. You stretched your legs out on the couch and sighed in defeat, watching the minute hand change 1 minute closer to bedtime. You arranged yourself feeling restless and looked out the window. Startled initially, you spotted a figure on the hills. It was Cove! When the surprise faded, you realized it really wasn't that much of a shock at all. It was exactly something Cove would do. You've been amazing so far. I love you all. Thank you, Kit. Seriously, I always am trying to be a better ally to all of my BIPOC and API friends. So I am hopefully continuously learning and working to be a better ally. So if I say or do anything, or you can think of anything I can do to support you, I'm 100% willing to change and grow and educate others and do what I can to support, as well as, you know, my job that I'm working towards that as well. So I love you all. Welcome back, Minty. You went outside to meet up with him. You ran off to go see him. You spat the window to get his attention. I would actually do that in real life. You open the window to call out to him. Let's go meet up with Cove. Who cares if it's bedtime? Strolling casually, you went out to the front door. When you arrived, you noticed how many fireflies were out that night. They drifted along lazily, barely minding your presence as you waded through it to reach the top of the hill. Cove turned towards you as you approached, and you noticed right away that Cove looked happy to see you. Hey. Smiling shyly, you stopped in front of him. Your fingers nervously pulled at the loose string hanging off your shirt. Hi. What are you doing out here?
Nothing.
The tension is palpable. So how are you today? I'm good, Minty. We're playing one of my favorite games that's super LGBTQIA friendly, and I just love it. It's very cozy and very supportive and warm, and we love it. We love it a lot. Nothing, not really. Oh, nothing, not really. He shrugged, seeming unhappy with his own answer. You stared at him, waiting for him to continue. Well, I guess I was feeling kind of weird about stuff, so I'm getting some fresh air before bed. You nodded. His mouth pulled back into a bent smile. Cove let himself fall back onto his butt and then all the way down, so he was lying on his back. He looked up at the sky. You laid down yourself. You lowered yourself to lay back on the hill. You had been so lost in thought, or was possibly waiting for you to situate yourself, but he started speaking unprompted again. Thanks for telling me about my dad and the money he offered you to be my friend. This was probably the last thing you were expecting out of Cove. He seemed to pick up on that and stretch his arms out wide in front of him.
I mean,
This is where we met, remember? It happened that day. You could recall the sad little boy with the pink cast who you found in this very spot. It felt like a lifetime ago. I kind of have a feeling looking at you, not in a bad way, just thinking about you then and really seeing you now, it's something. Did we not have to make a move? Is Cove gonna make the move? Ah! Oh my god, I was supposed to be in school, but my legs hurt, so yeah. Aw, Minty, I'm sorry that your legs hurt. Are you going to see a doctor about that? He turned his face away from you. You got the impression he was trying to hide a blush. It was almost unbelievable how much of an impact you made on your life just by moving in next door. You couldn't even imagine what your days might have looked like in a world where you hadn't met him. Cove glanced back at you, waiting for a response, and you had no idea what to say. Then, still without a word from you, Cove shook his head strongly. What? It's you. Huh? He snickered before answering. He looked thoroughly amused with your reaction. That's what you do all the time, so I'm being you. What do I do? Just stare at him? Cove! That's fine. I think I need a doctor. Oh, well, at least rest. I'm glad you're resting your legs, at least. You do that all the time, too. So do you, Cove. You were stunned. He noticed enough to take note of that. I don't do it that much. Not being able to argue with his assessment, you accepted it. You felt bashful about his joke. You do that all the time, too. Do I? Yeah. Cove couldn't help but grin at that. Honestly, there weren't many people you could think of who would tease you about something like that. Returning his smile, you realized that there was no denying that the two of you have been around each other for a long time. Cove broke the quiet before it could fully settle.
see you tomorrow.
Hey, I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, see you then. With a final wave, Cove headed for home, but you stayed there a few minutes longer. Your mind kept going back to a simple statement. See you tomorrow. No matter how much was changing around you, there were some things in your life that always seemed to remain true. The hills felt warm to you that night. Before you knew it, you were getting comfortable under the covers in your room. Your mind couldn't help but still be buzzing with thoughts about the future. You felt excited. There was little doubt in your mind that things were moving forward, and you couldn't wait to find out what changes were waiting for you on the horizon. Slowly, your eyes grew heavy as you drifted off to sleep, your mind spinning with wishful thoughts. No matter what happened next, you could only hope that you would make it the most out of it. You were ensnared in a dream when a noise from the outside world jostled you. Oh, I thought this was gonna be the end. The light clattered together. Now I got an ad. Oh, I'm sorry, Minty. Now that you were all alert, you could distinguish it as tapping sound, quiet, slow, but persistent. Each beat was like being poked. You couldn't ignore it. You lifted your head from the pillow and looked for the source. Not much work was needed to puzzle it out. It was from the window. With that, you knew exactly who it was. Cove! From the color of the light filtering into your room, it was too early for anyone to be awake, including the sun. It barely hauled itself over the horizon, but that didn't stop some people, it seemed. You sat up in bed and opened the window wide. Cool air, not yet warmed by the day, tickled your face as it pushed into your room. And just as you expected, there was your neighbor crouching on your windowsill. He was fully dressed, though, not for school. Cove! Ow, he's so cute. Wait, is this a dating sim? Kind of, Minty. So it's a visual novel where you get to decide, like, who you're interested in, how interested you are in them. You get to decide your gender identity, your sexuality, all of that stuff. So, like, you don't have to date him. It's more of like a story of growing up together with someone. We are playing it as a dating sim because we are romancing Cove. Because I love Cove. But, and it's super, super, super cute. So yes, kind of. It's kind of a dating sim. He was wearing a wetsuit and a shy smile.
Devin.
Hi, Devin. You started back blinking. So technically, we won't be back to school for a few more hours. His voice was delicate, yet deliberate, each word a careful explanation. Classes haven't actually started yet. So, do you want to hit the beach with me one more time this summer? Cove, you're so cute. I'm not gonna say that though. Always. His smile widened affectionately. You rushed to get changed into something suitable while Cove climbed back down to the ground level. Your limbs, still half asleep, struggled somewhat as you attempted to coordinate them into a swimsuit, but you got there in the end. Soon you were tiptoeing out of your front door, clutching a towel. Cove was already there to greet you. Your eyes met Cove's gaze, darted to your destination, and back to you. You checked the door was closed, gave him a thumbs up, and the two of you leapt into action. You played Danganronpa. Teehee. I've never played but I've never played that. Wordlessly, you began to run down the familiar path ahead, Cove beside you. The thrill of your illicit outing made you want to laugh. Not that you dared if anyone in your family looked out and saw you. Then your summer would be back to being over. One glance at Cove told you that he was exactly the same, holding back snickers for fear of being caught. Heard and caught. The towel streamed out from under your arm like a cape. You were running so fast downhill that simply keeping your balance and not tumbling down was a real threat. It just wasn't enough of one to make you slow your pace. For every step you took, the beach was a little closer and the day a little brighter. What lay ahead for you would arrive, and you were happy to meet it. That was so cute! Oh my goodness, that's the end of summer too! We did it! If you like this, you'll like Danganronpa. Okay, I'll have to check it out. Is it free on Steam? Alright, let's get rid of the acne. We not little anymore. Okay. Let's see. We could have nose rings. What do we want to look like? We look like pure anime right now. How do we want to look as teenagers? We're gonna be 18, I think, in this next chapter of life. Should we still go by they them pronouns? I think we should. I think we can just stay. I think we're pretty comfortable in our non-binariness. Ooh, wait, I like that haircut. That's cute. Okay, let's find a back for it. Bird, why does that remind me of you? The little beret. Yeah, I would wear that. That's 100%. Are you talking about... Hold on, this one? That one's 100% me. This one is 100% me. We could do it. I was just trying to... that bug hair. Wait. This one? The one I liked? This one is your hair bugs? That's cute. Oh my god, Buggy. Cute hair. I have to do different colors or I can't tell what they look like. Your bugs, you're technically scrappy too. That's your haircut type. We could do this one. We could have like weird bangs. Or we could do the anime look with 2 different colors. Or we could have curly hair. That's kind of cute. That one's cute too. Curled too. Oh, that one's cute too. Wait, I like this one. Side 3. Our teenager look. We should have fun colored hair. Maybe we should have fun colored hair. Ooh, the green. Thick as my hair. Lime green. And you both have green hair. Okay, so I should dye my hair green. Well, let me see if I have a green option. Yeah, that one. So I can be the same as Cove's mom? That's a little weird, Puggy. I'm not sure if I want to look like Cove's mom. Considering he's our love interest. And Jackie, you said thick was you? Hold on, I want to find the thick. Everyone find your hair type. Thick. Ooh, that's cute. That's cute, Jackie. You could have space buns in this game too. Wait, hold on, Jackie. There, this is you. Look, it's space buns. I made Jackie. We could make Jackie. We could literally make this Jackie. Hold on, is purple an option? Yeah. Hold on. Purple space buns. It's Jackie! Purple and thick. You have lovely hair, Jackie. That's cool. Yeah, you don't look like Co's mom. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to look like Co's mom. Also, Dempera has a very specific order in which animes and games you should play and watch. You can Google it or DM me on Discord and I'll try to tell you the order. in my opinion. Ooh, okay. Also, Dan Perrin has a very, yes. Thank you for retyping that. I appreciate it. Okay. Maybe we'll have, I don't know. We can have purple hair. I feel like our eye color's purple though, so it doesn't offset well. We could just keep having white hair. I kind of dig the white hair. I can't see though, that's the problem. I like can't see with the hair. My eyes can't do the like differentiation in between the styles. Gonna have braids, bun. I feel like just short hair maybe. Strands. Could have strands. I want a piercing though. We're definitely having a nose piercing for sure. Why? Because that just seems cool. No other reason. What about this? And then we could do a fun color too. We could do white again. Or we could do black. So you have to all these hairstyles are cute. I know this game is so cute. Should we do that? Although the curly doesn't match the straight, which kind of annoys me. Why is the short not matchy? It must match. It bother me. That's kind of cute too. Could do that. Wait, black looks so cute, right? Black looks so cute with our purple eyes. I don't think I can change our eye color. Yeah, no, I can't. Because that's what we chose in the beginning. Ooh, we can do the, what's this called? Anyone know the hairstyle I'm talking about? The boy band hairstyle? Parted in the middle. Wait, this is actually I kind of like this. Yes? Everyone down for this look? And then, hold on, let me see if I can mullet. It's a mullet! Oh no, I don't want a mullet. I don't want a mullet. That one? Is that better? Party in the back, business in the front. No, I hate it. I don't want a mullet. Ruin it for me, why don't ya? Buggy, your hairstyle is really cute in this. The one you have claimed. That one? But then the curliness doesn't match again. Struggle is real. Also, if you play the joint games and watch animes in the wrong order, you can ruin the story and spoil a whole bunch of stuff for yourself. Oh no! Okay, that's good to keep in mind. For the back hair. You're welcome. You want a mullet? You want me to actually make a mullet? I don't want to have a mullet. We could do a bun. A bun could be cute. Wait, hold on. Let's do... We could do the boy band style with the bun. No mullets. No mullets allowed. That's mullety? Is that mullety? This is hard. This is stressing me out now that you said we look like we have mullets. There was a back curly hair that I wanted to see, but you were too fast. Okay, I'll go slow. That one? Everybody, can we not spam Birdie? We'll rechat, so you don't need to spam the message. That's okay. I did say that saying twice was okay. But I appreciate that too, Buggy. I am reading Minty. Sometimes I just don't read out loud. I think wavy too. Wavy too? You like wavy too? Okay, so then what should we do for the front? This is wavy too. That goes with wavy too. Those two go together. This music is so peaceful. I don't want to do any of the two tones. I think we're gonna stay. Okay. Let me know if you find one you like. Strands. Okay. Strands. Curly one's kind of cute. Flowy one. Oh, flowy one's nice. Choppy, long. Parted one. Triangle. Triangle head. You like the strands? Is this the one you like? Also, did you see the picture of the little night game on Discord yet? I have not, Minty. I haven't looked at Discord. I've been playing since 11:30 a.m., so I have not checked Discord in a while. The most jumping around the screen. Oh, good. I'm glad you like it. It's supposed to be fun for y'all. I think it's called Strands. Oh, okay. Oh, this one. Oh, that one's cute. Okay. This, we like this. Okay. All right. And then we could have Freckles again. I think that's kind of cute. We have a... Should we have glasses? You look like a librarian. Hand size. We get to choose our hand size. That's funny. I think we just have medium hands. But I like the one you pointed out earlier. I think this is cute, Jackie. I'll go with you. Don't do my hairstyle. You'll just make yourself look like 6. We don't have braces anymore. I'm gonna say that. And then... Oh my god, this is so conclusive! Hold up a second. That's so cool. I love this game so much. Look at this. Look at this. Oh my god, you have like every religion represented. This is so cool. This is so cool. Okay, do we have a nose ring? Fuck yeah, we have a nose ring. I like the stud. The stud's cute. This game thought of literally everything, right? It's so cool. Alright, so that's us. Can we change our name? We can change our name! It'd be weird to change our name now, but oh my god, we can change it! That's so inclusive too! If someone decided to change their name, like you have the ability to do that. Oh my god, you can name yourself Leaf. That's amazing. But what about anime hairstyles? So we did anime hairstyles as a 8-year-old and as a teenager. So I feel like as an 18-year-old, we're gonna look normal. Lee Lauren is there. Is Burb? Is my name? I think my name is here. Let me see. Yeah, Julia. I don't know Burb, like the actual name Burb is there. Let me see. B, A, B, C. Where am I in the A's? Okay, there we go. A, B, Birdie. No, it doesn't look like Birdie's there. Let's see if Jackie's there. Jackie, are you here? You would be all the way up, huh? JC, that's not the same. Janice, Jake. Is Bug? I don't think Bug is there, but we can change our name to that. That's just if you wanted your name voiced. Those are the voice names. Leave it there so it makes sense for Bug to be. Oh, okay, hold on, I'll check. Bunny. Bunny's there. You can name yourself Bunny. You can also do an unvoiced name. I just particularly like the voice names. Okay, so we're done with us. All right, how do we feel about Cove? My feelings for Cove are direct and in love. We're directly in love with Cove. Or crush. Should we stay with crush? We have a direct crush on Cove now, because then we can be very direct about how we feel. Relaxed love, relaxed crush. How do we want to play this? Wonder if Ken or Kit is an option. Oh no, I can't go back. I'm sorry, Kit. No bunny, want Bug. Let's do love. Let's be in love with. Let's be in love with Clove. We'll be directly in love with Clove, so that way we can just be upfront with him. Or crush, I guess. Love, crush. What's the difference? What do we want to do? Relaxed? If we do relaxed, then it doesn't matter that much. Redeemed, hydrate. Buggy, I don't have water. You want to do a relaxed crush, Zazzy? I figured direct might be fun because then we can play like very like straightforward, like how Jackie wanted. Relaxed love. Oh no, I can go get water. I can do a quick break for us and get some water. Here's some mango juice. All right, here's what we'll do. We'll take a quick break because I guess I'm gonna probably end this soon anyways. Buggy, give yourself back that hydrate because I have no water. Sort of back. No, and I usually end around 3 hours and a half, unfortunately. I don't know. Okay, let's do what? Okay, here, I'll do another poll. I'll do a poll. How do we feel for Cove? Relaxed, love, direct, love. I mean, this doesn't impact it a whole bunch, but it does change how we act with him. At least that's how I've been playing it. That's why I went back and undid what Jackie did, or Jackie asked for. So you can just vote at the top there. It's in the mod view bugs in the channel point redemption. If you reject the hydrate you'll get the points back. Yeah, give yourself the points back because I don't have any water, and since we're gonna be ending soon, I don't want to take a break to get water. All right. So if you want to vote at the top, you can vote for whatever your favorite is. But if we had been direct, if we had chosen direct with Cove in the first place, like a direct crush, I would have done the kiss right away and just gone with it. But because we did nervous crush, I was like, it doesn't really make sense for a character to be that direct. So that's why I went back and like we went through that for a little bit to see what would happen, and that's why I also went back and undid it though. Although I really am curious what would have happened with Derek and Cove at the end there if we had just said, maybe once we finish making our characters, we'll go check that out before we raid someone. Because I'm curious. I don't know if you're curious, but I'm curious. I want my curiosity sated. Because I don't know how to be direct in real life. All right, we want a relaxed crush. Okay. Relaxed crush it is. I forgot to vote. Oh no, Jackie, you can write it in chat. What was your vote? What was your vote, Jackie? Just write it in chat before I pick. If it changes anything, if it ties it, direct love. Okay, that tied it. So here we go again. Tiebreaker. Direct love. Relaxed crush. You did. Yay. All right, tiebreaker, go. Go with the tiebreaker. I love being able to do polls. I was lurking on the wrong side. Oop. I'm glad you figured it out, though. I can't vote. Direct. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Throw in your reasoning now. You have a minute. Can I complete the other requests? Yeah, you can if I've done them. I think I have. It won't let me click. Oh no, Minty, I don't know. You should be able to, unless there is like a prohibition or like a reason for your Twitch not to be able to. But there shouldn't be a reason on our end. All right. It looks like direct love. Direct love it is, babies. That looks like here we go. Direct love. It was 4-1, and so that's the one. All right, now we get to do Cove. He's so pretty. Oh my God! Wait, Cove. Cove had a glow up. Holy shimoly, Batman. Cove, you're so fucking cute. Okay, Cove, you want an earring, Cove? Cove, what are your shirt options here? Oh, Cove. My lad. You're so cute. Look at him, and then he can have bracelets. Oh, we love that for him. I love this for you, Cove. He has all the jewelry. Dreamboat Cove! I've heard that Cove in like there is a thing going right now for they're doing like another expansion of the game that hasn't been released yet, and he's an adult in that one, and I've heard that he is gorgeous in that one. So I'm excited. I also enjoy that we get to like make how he looks. Can I just say that? Interesting PJ options though, Cove. Like, very interesting. Oh yeah, if you're swimming, glasses don't make sense. Although I think that just takes his glasses off, period. Which I don't want to do. Dress shirt for Cove. Give him a fun pattern. Give Cove the fun pattern. Okay. Done. Since you're romantically interested in Cove and are old enough to start being physically affectionate, more seriously, you can choose what initiation level he has throughout step 3. Make sure the player experiences what they want is important in our life, but always putting your choice first can potentially make a relationship feel one-sided. So we've added some flexibility in how it works. Low initiative means that Cove will occasionally ask to touch the MC, and in those situations, there will always be an opportunity to say yes or no. For example, he won't simply lean over and kiss the MC as a greeting or an emotional moment. Every piece of physical interaction will be either initiated or approved by the player before it happens. Middle initiative means that there will be those certain times when Cove requests to touch the MC, many chances to initiate affection on your own, and also Cove will pretty regularly give affection automatically. One example would be giving the MC a kiss because he's happy or emotional or something else. And in other situations, you can choose not to make the first move in order to give Cove the space to be the one to act afterwards. Overall, Cove can get romantic, but the player's agency will take priority. High initiative includes everything middle does, but it also means that the player's agency will be reduced to a degree in favor of having Cove give physical affection even more frequently and with less prompting. Instead of all the major affection-giving situations being led by a choice menu for you to decide on, some will instead be replaced by Cove acting automatically. This level is only recommended if you're very comfortable with physical affection and would prefer to simply see it happen rather than always holding the reins on it. However, this level is mostly relevant if Cove ends up as your official boyfriend at some point. Situations where high-level initiative makes a difference tend to come up in scenes that are exclusive to being in a relationship. The parts that are also included in the middle initiative will be seen whether you're dating or not. Once you pick up your level, it can be changed later, so keep your full playthrough in mind. Oh, it can't be changed later when deciding. We hope you enjoy whatever initiative option you decide on. What do we want to do? How affectionate do we want Cove to get with us? Wait, I'm stressed. So this means that Cove can initiate romance. I kind of like that because then we don't have to be so like intense about things. But also streaming wise, I don't know what would be more appropriate. I don't think this game gets that spicy, so I feel like it will be okay. I think it's just probably be kissing or whatever. Medium level's probably safest. Yeah, I think you're right, Kid. I think medium's probably safest for us. So let's do that. All right, I'm gonna save before we get into the three of it. Oh no, it's spicy. What happened? All right. I think that's where we're gonna leave it today. Thank you all for being here today. It was super lovely having you here. This was a lot of fun. And I'm definitely doing more early morning streams. I think I'm gonna do this regularly. Here again with me today. I love you all. Have a great rest of your day. Bye, friends!